Redeemer. Thank you for redemption. There's not redemption under the Old Testament. We didn't have salvation, and we didn't have forgiveness. One sin was death. So I think we've all fall short of that. So thank you, Shiloh. The scepter, that's the scepter shall not depart from Judah. He is Leo. He is in the firmament, celestial firmament. He is the lion. He's the king with a crown of thorns upon his head. Remember, King of the Jews. Hung him from a tree. So, does anybody want to hang you from a tree? He said, follow after me. So follow, that means you got to do what he did. So, you know anybody that's doing what Christ did? Christ-like. One that was anointed, Christ in oil. He said have extra oil. The eye is the lamp of the body. If it's filled with light, then the whole vessel is filled with light. The eye is filled with darkness, then the whole vessel filled with darkness. They don't mix like dark and light, oil and water. They don't mix. So that would be lukewarm. Remember, and he says in the book of Luke, speaking of Luke, between lukewarm and Luke, he said, my disciples, right? Take up your cross. So hung him from a tree and put a crown of thorns over his head, called the King of the Jews. So most people have no idea what that's all about. It's about, as he said in Revelation 3:11, I come quickly like a woman, like a thief in the night. So, account violation detected, case ID, YouTube, this is a live stream, is ended. Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, you lying piece of shit. Goodbye. I apologize for cursing, guys. These people are such swine. That doesn't make me, any better, but get out of here. Paul Blart, the YouTube cop. What are you, the YouTube police? Get out of here, child. You're banned. They banned you. Can't come back here for the rest of the day. Or maybe they give you half an hour. I don't know what. Put you in timeout. 5 minutes. You're in timeout. Child, be quiet. Come in here acting like some pig person in government or some kind of higher. That's pride, power. Principalities, powers wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers. Not Paul Blart, the YouTube police. What a fool. Well, because somebody come in and think there was some kind of YouTube cop. Sound like the feelings police out on the streets there of all this American, or I can't, they can. American. So, but America. Make up your mind, would you? No, I can't. You can. So, oh my gosh. So, 70-13. 7013. Well, 7013 is 70's this. That's that's like 3 racks in the stack, and so 13, that's the day I was birthed. So 73, the 0 is no value in gematria, so right, it's just a placeholder. There is no such thing as 0. There's only 1 through 9. There's no such thing as 1,000, no millennia. All these words they add, they can't add. They don't have a spiritual calculator at all, or a celestial calculator. They don't know whether there's a clock above their head, but they go by some hand. It's going to tell them something. It points at a number, and that's going to tell them time. Imagine that. It's not a clock. But anyways, they're pagans. They're Satanists. It's not 2025. I live in a world full of Satanists. Most people go to hell. Most people are already in hell. Hell's not below your feet. So they're in an undefined place. How about that? What do everyone should know? Thy kingdom come. Do you know what that means? How about that? Thy kingdom come. That's it. That's what it's all about. Everything I'm going to teach you in this lesson will be about that. Thy kingdom come. Remember? Revelation 3:11, I come quickly, let no one take your crown. 2 kings, 2 crowns. Revelation 9:11, have a king over them, a messenger. This is the word angelos or angel. The definition of an angel is messenger. So messenger is an angel. So thy kingdom come. That's Shiloh. The scepter shall not depart from Judah till Shiloh returns. Thy kingdom come. Have your loins girded in my service until I return. You must endure to the end to be saved. That means you got to go to your very last breath, die, and then he's got to come back, raise the dead from the ashes and the dust, and then you'll be saved because you're already bought, paid, and purchased for. That's called redemption. He said, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. How about that? That's just a short version. Are you done? No, I'm not done yet. I'll keep going. It's on my heart. He wrote it on the hearts of the bride. Remember, once written on stone. I'm not sure what these people are smoking. They're smoking the world. How about that? Roll it up, smoke it up, light it up, inhale, exhale. The world. Remember, they strapped him back so he couldn't breathe on a tree. Nobody's ever been hung from a cross in times of Rome. I don't know nothing about it. It's been a little Romanesque in this day, huh? Red and blue, Democrypt and blood bucking. A fool. I'm a fool, fool, fool. No, fool, Lord means master, and that's a pagan term, but I am the word. He's the word. I'm a fool for the word. He's my master. He's my Lord. Yes, master. Whatever you say, master. Absolutely. I'll tell it to the whole wide world. I'm doing it right now. North, east, west, and south. They'll get with the news. Here we are, standing on this rock. Well, wherever you walk this rock. Are you on a planet? Are you on a spinning planet? There's no such thing as planet. So if you think you live on a planet, you got to go now. Leave. Go. Get out of here. What is this? Shadow wizard money. Gang, we love casting spells. All right, you're an idiot. You're out of here. You know what you're talking about. Some psychobabble, numistrio, Babylonian English. No. American. They speak American. American, but they America can. Free dum dum dum. So it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's about rights, not freedom. There's no such thing as free will, and freedom's dangerous. How about that? Freedom's dangerous. It's borderline criminal. Oh my God, did you see what he do? Yeah, I know, it was awesome. Did he hurt anybody? No. All right, leave him alone. No victim, no crime. Crime is a term of, well, criminal is a term of accounting. Remember, we're going to do it by the number in here. You got to have a spiritual calculator. Cosmos and orderly arrangements. How about that? The cosmos. You have any definition in you? You know, one bat. Sorry. Think of some Nelly out there. Batter up. My bad. Swap meet Louis. No. Louisville. You know, like the slugger. No, that's Kentucky, right? We're talking about the arch. The ark. The ark, that's Al-Qaeda, the entrance to the porthole. Porthole. Remember? Communion and portholes. They thought they could communion. They'd stick their lightsabers in their portholes, their ice holes. You know, their Baphomet worship. They want you to come on by, so you'll give it a try. Their transgender Jesus God with the breast to the flesh, the beast, man and woman. And their celebration. And then they do the French, right? They stole that holiday, and now they call it show us your booby Jesus, or whatever. The beads, the whole week ritual. They used to do that for, remember, in Rome. It's an orgy. You ever go to St. Louis? Oh wait, hold on. That's not. Oh, that's Hurricane Katrina. Oh well, that's a whole different area. Boy, I'm all over the map today, aren't I? It's everywhere you want to be. Like, give me the news, like Visa or MasterCard. Maybe like American Express. Don't leave home without it. There you go. Trojan man, right? Armor of God. Armor up. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Run under. The bride's not bound by law or fate. They're destined. destiny, predestination. I also did foreknow. I did predestined to conform, follow after me, conform. Oh, follow. That's in Matthew, isn't it? Oh, that's in Luke too, isn't it? Romans, conform. Are you doing what he did? Does anybody want to whip you, throw you in a jail cell and kill you? Because you're standing up to perverted law like fake robots that learn. Robots don't learn. Computers don't learn. You've been programmed. You got to be programmed. 01, 01, 01. 01. Computers don't learn. Computers don't have feelings. Computers will shut themselves off when they're programmed to shut themselves off. Oh, it won't shut itself off. It's alive. Number 5, Johnny 5 alive. God's in the sky. Oh my gosh, we got robots. Are you guys ready for the Project Blue Book, not Beam? They have directed energy. They've been able to roast people in their seats. Remember back in the 80s and 70s? What they called it? Spontaneous combustion. I don't know. Must have eaten too much beans and cabbage. Drink too much alcohol or something. Blow you right off and you just put into remember your enemy be ashes under your feet? Or do their little rituals. Would be next on their list for, remember? Do me, baby. We speak Mountain Dew in here. I don't drink Mountain Dew. I don't drink soda, but carbonic acid doesn't allow your whole proteins to separate in your stomach. Acids goes down as a whole protein and it becomes toxic. So don't drink anything with bubbles, carbonate. It's not good for you. Or moderation. How about that? Thank you. Moving on. See your doctor. I'm not giving any advice. Their names have been changed to protect, they're Baphomet Jesus. There's no such thing as Jesus. Stop it. Jesus, there's no J. So what do you mean G? Jesus, come on in and say by Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. J, Jesus, like Joe, like can't keep his nose off the kids, and Mr. Thump, who can't keep his his lightsaber out of their ice holes. They go to the island. They're island boys. Island boys. EpiPen. Remember, that's the Clintons, right? 2 island boys. Oh, better be quiet. You'll end up hung with 2 holes in the back of your head. Suicided. Oh, I'm not going to do that ever. Nope. You have to endure to the end to be saved. So you have to die to the last breath, then be raised from the ashes and the dust, and then you'll be saved. Maybe. Maybe not. Not up to you. It's already chosen. Remember? Prognosko. Romans 8 and 29, I already said it. You also did foreknow who I did predestined, conform to the image of the Hamashiach. Who's Jesus? Jesus, which Jesus do you speak? Paul said the other Jesus. Remember, there's no J's in Hebrew, or there's no, and you don't fight over there. Don't be a little child and get all excited because they won't tell you that you're spinning on a ball. No such thing as planets. Stop it. Not one planet was ever created by Father. He's creator, so stop it. No, it's not a transliteration, bro, and I'm not your brother. It's a translation. It's not literally a translation. You don't know the difference between transliteration means you've changed no jots, yods, tittles. You're an idiot. Stop speaking. You're an antichrist. You are. You're a demon because you're lying to others. Transliteration means you haven't changed the definition. You obviously don't own a lexicon or don't own don't use the eSword app, do you? You don't study out of the interlinear Texas Receptus, do you? There's no J's in Hebrew. So it's not a transliteration. Transliteral means you don't add. And you have added, because that's the last thing he said in the book of Revelation. So be quiet, child. Go speak your other Jesus, as Paul said. Okay? Another gospel and another Jesus. So I rebuke your Jesus. You're an idiot. Because you don't know what you're talking about. No, there's no J. There's no J. Jesus, Isis. He said before Abraham was I am. So we're not going to fight over a name. You don't know what the name means. It means covenant, this new covenant. So we're not going to fight over letters or shapes or balls or God's in the sky. God's not in the sky. Heaven's not above your head. Earth's not below your feet. You don't live on a planet. He didn't create any planets. It's not 2025. You go by some worldly Jesus. How about that? You go by the world. He said don't add a jot. The last he said thing in the, remember, apocalypse means to pull off the veil, to lift the scales from the eyes. He doesn't choose, but only a fraction. He doesn't love everybody. He's an all-loving God, but he only loves a tiny bit. His bride is teeny tiny. He said, many are called, but few are chosen. Many, only God's see, only you don't speak any Greek. That's why I know you don't know what you're talking about. You don't use a concordance. I've shown all these things. I help people to the narrow way because that's what we're supposed to do. Judge. I spoke with a lady today. Oh, I'm not supposed to judge. Yes, you are. Judge with righteous judgments. You don't know this covenant. You pull anything off of the covenant he made, then you rip him down from the tree he hung from. Nobody hung from crosses. And nobody carried a cross. He didn't carry a cross. He was staked or nailed or pegged. People get all stupid when you say that name to a stock. In your stock exchange, if you're an American or can, is what you are. I can, you can. He said, come out of her, my people. He stood up to the law, the halakha. If you don't know where the halakha, then please don't say another word in here. I rebuke you. You're a child. To be 7 is the number of maturity. Tell me the 7 things right now it says in Scripture you're supposed to do. I'll wait. I've never had anybody even tell me one. So don't say another word, please. He said don't add a jot. That's like a period, right? Like the smallest in punctuation. Oh, here we go. See, look at, you got swine like this, brothers and sisters. So thank you, Father, for sending swine so we can point out the obvious. So what do we got here? Yeah, we'll get rid of you. I can just tell already by your fruit, you're already spewing the world. Some of you guys smell like religious. So I'm not religious, so you know. This ministry has nothing to do with religion. So rebuke them all. They're all Satanists. You add a jot, that means the adversary, you're an antichrist or a Satanist, meaning you are adding the adversary. So I'm not trying to, we purify. He said, purify yourself as he purified himself, brother, sister. So I'm just trying to show you to the narrow way. Somebody's in the broad way. I'm just judging you with righteous judgment that he tells me to do. I judge, love thy neighbor like thy enemy, like thyself. Your biggest enemy, remember in Matthew 10:34-39, a man's enemy is to be the one of his own household. That is you, and I am my own worst nightmare. My own biggest enemy. By self, you blot your name out of the book of life. It's called idolatry, okay? He divorced his bride for that. It's called pornea. They thought God's in the sky. Ask every one friend you know where they think God's at. Christ in you! For Christ's sake, grow up. He's not in the sky. He's never in the sky. He doesn't have flesh. The Hokadesh is his name. I am. Before Abraham, he is the Aleph, the ox, the leader. Remember, he is my master. My Lord is a pagan term. Christ is a pagan term. There was no Jesus because there was no letter J, but we're not going to fight over the letter. Or when he says, hallowed be thy name, that means lift up, like he raised Lazarus from the dead, like Jonah raised 3 days after belly of the whale in darkness as Christ rose after 3 days. It means this new covenant, not Jesus or not Yeshua or not God or not I am or not. That's not what he means by name. It's Shem is what it says in the book that I read because there's no added letters. You're not to add. And he said, don't add a jot. That's like a dot or a period. And now they live on that thing and blew it up into a ball. And now they're spinning on it. Third block or rock or ball from the sun. Corkscrewing and spinning. That Hebrew word to spin or add or take away, as we were speaking of, is called perverted. Froward. Froward, F-R-O-W-A-R-D. In your modern translation. Froward, right? Means to add, twist, warp, or warp speed or Godspeed. You tell me, huh? Change, add, take away, pervert. You're perverting his word if you add. That means you're an antichrist. Not the seventh king that's locked in the pit. That's the one in Revelation. That's a messenger that I already defined to you what an angel is. That's the word angelos in Greek, which means definition, messenger. A messenger is an angel. Angels don't come from the sky. When they fall, that doesn't mean from the sky. That means they've fallen from the heavens. Heaven are above your head. That means his pride, his favorite. Aaron and Levite. He didn't love everybody. He didn't love the Gentiles. He didn't love Esau. He killed his brother Satan, the one Donald Trump has his house decorated with Jesus Christ in the middle of the winter. The Hamashiach was born when the shepherds were in the field with the sheep. You want a different name? How about Mithra? It's still Christ. They're antichrist. The one with breasts, 3 genders. They're 3 in 1 God. Catholicism, Christianity, baptism. All these people do this communion, crackers, and they follow the Pope. He said, call no man father. You can unzip these lies so easily. People follow after this. So it's not 2025. Here about, we'll just do that. So you don't know, if you don't know that it's not 2025, and if you don't know the word halakha or Haggad, I don't say anything in here. Go unlearn and come back. Go see Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries. There you go. See you. Adios, muchacho. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Okay, that's a pagan term once again. So we're not going to fight over letters or that. You don't know. You got to know the gospel before you can even speak of. You should unlearn, because that's what I did. I had to, for 10 years I had to unlearn. Now I was trying to restudy in that time, but you learned just like probably me. If he said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. He makes us do it. Nobody's coming to Jesus. You come here and accept Christ. You can't accept Christ. You can't accept Christ. You have to endure to the end to be saved. So that means you got to die. He has to raise at the last trump the dead from the ashes and the dust, and then you'll face judgment, because there's only one trump, final trump, or what was called the horn or the shofar, the ram's horn, right? Like Father Aries the ram. David declared him a lamb. That makes Father the ram. But anyways, it's simple. These people are religious, and that's why they've been watered down. It's drink of the milk that's not been watered down, okay, or eat of the meat, like it says in Malachi. So if you were found somebody who was giving you the meat, okay, influence. We have a drug pusher, okay? Everybody, this is what you call a drug pusher, like the government. Or he'll think something's wrong with me mentally, and then he'll want me to lay down on the couch and drug. So listen, everybody in this chat, this is a drug pusher, just like the governments. The biggest governments, yeah, the governments are the biggest drug pushers. And this guy's been programmed like a virus, which is not even a living organism. So don't be afraid of him, okay? You can't catch something that's not alive. So shut up, you ignorant puke. You got the name Evil in your name. Is that your name, Evil? Get out of here. You're an ignorant child is all you are. You under the influence. What are you under the influence? The world, child. Get out of here. Drug pusher. The biggest drug pushers are the governments. And who's killed more people than governments? Religion. Get out of here. Here's my 2 witnesses. How about that? Move on, child. You're an idiot. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're a drug pusher. You do this, and so do these other people. And every time when you come in here, we point you out. Oh, what am I, a racist? There's only one race, the human race. I don't want to hear it. I'm a veteran. I took a note to the Constitution, the very first post, right? Do not quit your post. That's post that I'm standing here right now. I haven't found anybody to relieve me. It says that as your first general order. Do not quit your post until properly relieved. You just don't agree with somebody, so you think they're on drugs. Or something's wrong with them, and then take drugs. See how you are? You're a freaking swine, dude. You got yourself just wrapped up. You better get out of here. Don't even say anything. We're going to crush you with the word. You're a drug pusher. You probably work for Donald Trump, the #1 drug dealer on this rock, and his buddy. Remember, you knew I was a snake before he let me in, and then he let the bite in, his buddy, so he can push that jab. Oh, I'll play poker with my buddies so they can still get rich again. Ha, 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 ha. Record earnings in 2020. Shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Don't push drugs in here. Just report and move on. This man is likely under the influence or seeking attention. You know what you're seeking? He said, if you don't call, right, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So what are you, some religious puke? Remember, he said, I'll vomit you from my mouth if you're lukewarm. I was just talking about watered down milk. Little leaven leavens the whole lump. Remember, cream rises to the top? Yeah, don't say another word. Or I'll ban you. I'm going to have everybody report you for pushing drugs, you drug pusher. Go push your drugs on somebody else, but don't push them here, I can tell you that. Go push them on somebody, some Christian channel, or some religious idiots. They're already watered down, been stuck or jabbed or boosted a bunch of times. Don't you feel like an idiot if they're even opening up your mouth? You're a drug pusher. I push everybody like you into the front of the line and then point you out. Oh, something's wrong with me mentally. Now take drugs, see? Anybody else disagree? Anybody else disagree with me? People like this, what's this person's name? Evil? Hold on, let me catch you with my chatter. Jet Dryer. No, Jet, don't talk about what I guarantee you. That's So anyways, stop being a drug pusher. You're a seaman apprentice. Okay, listen here, seaman samples. E2. I'm a military veteran, served during Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Look, you're a seaman samples. You're a military tyrant. I rebuke all veterans. The most swine thing, if you're claiming or you're stolen valor, to know, you don't even know your first general order. I bet you've forgotten it already, and you're only an E2. You're just we call you a private in the military. Listen here, private parts. Oh, hey, it's seaman samples here. I'm proud to be a veteran. You're a fucking mass murderer, and you're getting ready, if you haven't. Are you okay with killing people for the dollar? For banksters? Banksters, banksters, give a man a gun, he'll rob a bank. Give a man a bank and he'll rob the world. You don't even know what you're talking about. Evil. Oh, I'm a semen apprentice. Yeah, semen samples. You got them all over your face there. You got taint on your breath. You smell like somebody's backside. Think you ought to take yourself on out of here. Okay? Get on out of here. Oh, you need help. What do you want me to do? Take drugs now? We got another drug pusher in here, brothers, sisters. Watch, they'll do it. These people don't agree. You know what I'm saying? This is stupid, man. Like, it's silly. It's like a game show. It's like Bozo the Clown's in here, I'm a military veteran. You don't even know what the hell you're doing. You're not serving in any military. You're a tyrant thug just like I was. You're a leg. E2, you just got in the military. You better get the hell out before you get in deep, before you start killing people, have to have blood on your hands. Oh, wait, do you have a W-2 tax dollar you're filling out? Well, then you're a murderer. You're guilt by association, and you paid to kill Ukrainian citizens. And guess what? China has the largest navy, so you're going to get fucked up. All right, we don't have the largest navy anymore. Nobody's afraid of America. Watch what happens down in Venezuela. They already said, fuck you, Donald Trump. We're going to put 4.5 million militia to your... Well, we don't have one in America. How you feeling there, semen samples? You got chowder breath. You've been gargling out there the goo with those guys out on the ship. Remember, the eye is the lamp of the body, the vessel. The eye is filled with light. The whole vessel is filled with light. The eye is filled with darkness. I wouldn't be sticking your dark, in the dark places that you go down under the sea. And you seem to be talking about military all the time. Yeah, I'm pointing out that we shouldn't have any outside of our borders. Shut up, you idiot child. I'm going to point you out. Yeah, I point out the fact that we still go out and kill people in 1,000+ military bases so you can open up your fucking mouth under the First Amendment that Congress gave you, a natural, organic, raw law of the land. First Amendment. Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the exercise, free speech of the press. You're right. I defended your right of religion, free press, and I'm nuts. Now I'm nuts. Okay, yeah, you just can't keep up there, numb nuts. Oh, so you're okay with 1,000 military bases? You're okay with drafting American women in this country? You're okay with sending death troops to go kill other people in other countries so you could speak up and have a free will, right? You don't have free will. There's no such thing as free will, so you're an idiot. Can already tell they're Ferguson, Fergie Ferg, okay? Fergalicious. Okay, all right, well, let's get out of here. So you can get out of here. You're a child. You're an idiot. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Well, define hell. Okay, how about that, Ferguson? Define what the word hell is. Yeah, and we talk about these things, right? How many women and children were killed in Operation Iraqi Freedom, right? Desert Storm. How many women and children? Not talking about battle dress uniform men wearing military fatigues, but women and children lost their life. So people like these dumbasses could stand on an X and wear a face diaper. In the desert, only women burqa or cover veil their faces. But here in America, they wear face diapers like children. Veterans do these things so people have rights. And standing on an X and shutting down your business, I don't think that was, I think the writers of the Constitution wouldn't be very pleased. People's lawns not, too long. They get SWAT rated if they don't answer their mail. Kidnapping all people right off the streets of America with private contractor prison paid guards that work for the prison, private prisons. You don't even know what the fuck is going on in your streets right now, America. You're a bunch of fucking idiots. I took a note to the Constitution. You don't like that I speak up about that? Kick fucking rocks. It says, do not quit your post until properly relieved. So I'm not done. Bitch. You want to be my bitch? Get down on your knees and bark or something, but it ain't happening in here. Lead follower, get the fuck out of my way. Don't turn me back to the old me. Seriously. Stop being an idiot. Speak up about what's done. That's what I do. So if I speak up that I served, it's because it's an abomination with 1,000 military bases. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. Did you hear what I said? Lead, follow, or get the fuck out of my way. Don't stay in here. I don't care. Remember, I'm not here to please the world. I am here to, rebuke the things that I've done because Father does it to me so that I can learn from my mistakes, not stumble over the same mistakes again and again so I can maybe get the semen samples to get the fuck out of the military. And you know what? You pay for MAGA death. You're a U.S. citizen. You pay for the same death that the military goes out and commits with your W-2 dollar. So I don't want to hear it. You're just as fucking guilty. So don't come in here and tell me to do anything. I'll toss your ass right out of here. I'm telling people we're not even supposed to be outside our borders under this covenant. We shouldn't even have, we can have a National Guard, but we're not supposed to have one single veteran. Remember, the original writers of the Constitution said no foreign entanglements. Remember George Washington? Yeah, so shut the fuck up. Rebuke you, you children. Stop being an idiot. Yeah, and listen to this. Yeah, if we went over there and fucked up Gaddafi and ruined that country, do you ever see what South Africa looked like, brothers and sisters, for the United States Army went and fucked that place up? Took a man that I hope someday to be with in heaven, not above my head, Muammar Gaddafi, a fucking saint, a servant who served his people, and that place looked like a paradise, like Garden of Eden. Desalination machines, bringing all those channels. That's what we blew up. That's what we went over, because he was going to pay for oil with something other than the U.S. dollar. Went out there and took that man and stripped him down naked, raped his body, and put him and drug him like some kind of carrot on a string to make an example. Remember what Billary said? Okay? So let's be real about what happened, okay? And what really happened over there. Let's not be some stupid fucking American. That place was amazing, beautiful. Those people were living. I don't like socialism, but just look at the pictures of that place. Growing sorghum on the interior. All those desalination machines. You know what I'm saying? Stop being an idiot. You're supposed to stand up to this. That's what Christ did. That's what Christ did. He stood up to the law. And that's what happened. Muammar Gaddafi said, fuck you, America. I'm going to pay for oil with gold. Just like Saddam with the dinar. That's what he was going to do. We were a threat. He was a threat to the U.S. petrodollar. So the Clintons went over there and whacked him. Yeah. Donald Trump was the one who signed the thing behind all of it. Don't fool yourself. This man at the helm is doing all of this. And he's got puppeteers, too, that pull his strings. But he's their talking head. They're somewhere over there. Yeah, whatever. You know, Kermit the Frog here. You needed some kind of... Go away from me. I'm not going to sit here and us members of the U.S. Coast Guard are what gave you the rights to keep saying these things. You're an idiot. Congress is the one who protects the enable God-given right. Why the fuck are you still in here? Why are you still in here? Your name is evil. You're sitting and telling me that the Constitution, that the Coast Guard, so you're going to take away John Adams, you're going to tell you, I'm not going to go through the right. Dude, get out of here. Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Constitution was not written by the Coast Guard. Evil, you are exactly like your name is. Get out of here. Just leave and I won't ban you. Or don't say anything else. No, actually, I'm going to take you out of here. You're an idiot. You're a child. That's the stupidest thing I think I ever heard. Well, so far today. That's dumb. The U.S. Coast Guard gave you your right. No, what with this merchant law, birthed through my mother's canal, so that I can be under this corporation, sold as a stock or a bond under this merchant law? You don't know anything about that. Shut up. Evil's already out here. Don't worry about it. You're a bunch of land, air, and water, and you're under this merchant law, under this corporation. I took an oath what I thought was the constitutional republic. That's why I rebuke what the fuck I did. Because you're not supposed to serve the beast, brothers and sisters. And so what? I was 17 years old. I am still accountable, whatever. Just like I'm accountable for my cursing, okay? So, yeah, that's called to be narrow as the word hados, trail gamer. And it's baptism is by blood, remember? Or by fire. Remember, he had eyes of fire, feet of fire. He said he'd come back, he'd bring the fire. Your enemy be ashes under your feet. So, hados is the word narrow, way. So, this guy is so dumb. This poor guy thinks he's an intellectual. Okay, Tim. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and show everybody what Tim said. Tim, what year is it? And give me the definition. So if you're so intellectual and you have such a high IQ, give me the definition of hell and tell me what year you're in. Tim, speak up. Come on, you're so fast. Poor handicap. Now he's making disabilities, people with disabilities. So already, I don't think I want to give you the Tell me what year it is and give me the definition of hell. Get the hell out of here. Come on, ding, ding, and Mr. Intellectual, you had to have some college. I went to college before I went into the military, during the military, and after I got out of the military. That doesn't make me smart. So speak up, child. You obviously don't have any typing skills. They give you that like in high school. Did you get a diploma, GED? Speak up, dude. Slow down, Turbo, right? No, speak up. Hurry up, OJ. Concentrate. Tell me what it is, the definition for hell, and what year it is, because you're so intellectual. You've so studied. You got racks and stacks, decades, and I don't care how many. So you're calling me out, okay? But I'm asking you to give me the definition. So I'm calling you out. You say you're intellectual. Now tell me the definition. You already look like an ass. Define ass. Now you got to find 3 words. You're on the list. Okay? What was the first thing I said? What year? No, define hell, what year it is, and now, come on. Are you going to even remember? Get out of here. You're an idiot. You can't even keep up. Like OJ, concentrate. So bye, Tim. You know how to read the book of Timothy. You should remember to go back and reproof the word, brothers, sisters, It's okay. I'm not, brother, saying I'm going to hold myself to the fire, you to the fire, all of us. This is what we do in here. So don't worry, you didn't just stumble into this. Father said, remember, I create all things. So no free will, no luck, no fortunes. God doesn't love everybody. Most people are already pretty much and go to hell. He doesn't love everybody. Remember, narrow is the way that leads to the straight gate. That is the word hados. I am the hados. That means to be in the same and narrow way as Christ. That's what he said. I am. That's the way. Hados. That leads to the straight. This is theologo. I speak Greek. I speak Hebrew. I speak many languages. You don't speak. Most people, you know what kind of people only speak one language? Americans. And I'm American. So he does not love everybody. You're a blasphemous swine. You're a demon. I'm going to make an example out of you, Red. He doesn't love everybody. You're a swine. You don't know. He said, oligos, find the straight gate. Most people go to hell. So that's the word agape. You don't even know what the word says. In your book, it might say love, but no, it doesn't. You're a blasphemous swine. You're the word calls Nephilim now and an ass. Love is the word agape. It doesn't say love in the book that I read because these words are not in the book. You're a religious idiot. An idiot's not an insult. It means you just don't know. You never heard or been told. So that's okay. I can tell you don't have any definition in here. Remember? Enter through the straight gate. For broad is the way that leads to the wide gate. Yeah? And that's the entrance to hell, right? And most people enter by that gate. Narrow, he says, enter through the straight gate. Now, narrow is the way that leads to the straight gate, and oligos, a fraction. Find the straight gate. So his bride is a teeny tiny fraction. God doesn't love everybody. He didn't love Esau. He hated the Gentiles, right? Right? Well, he hated Esau before he was born and killed his brother Nimrod before either one were born or did anything on this earth. Remember Jacob, he loved. Remember who he loved? He called Israel or Israel, and he gave them the inheritance. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're an idiot. You have no definition in you, and that's okay. I'll just throw you out of here because he said don't sup with vipers. Show them to the narrow way. So, no, I'm not an atheist. I don't have a religion, though. I rebuke religions. He's a word. I love the word. I'm married to it. It's all I think about. I do other things, but this is what I do. I did it, 16 hours yesterday? I put in double time. I got 6 jobs. I'm retired. I don't get tired, okay? You're not going to get the gospel, and you're not going to come against this word. I don't care who you are. You can be a biblical scholar, and I'm not going to allow you to come. He said, guard my commandments. So it doesn't, if you change a word in that, you're an antichrist. Not the seventh king, antichrist. If you add or a yod, you know what a yod is? If you don't know what a yod is, I don't care what you say. Give me scripture, book, chapter, verse. You don't tell me what I already told you. Now see if you can even learn. Narrow, I already told you what the word narrow. I already gave you the Greek definition of what the Greek word was for narrow, and I already said. So tell me what it is. Hold on there, Shay. I'll give you that. I'm about ready to throw these other people out of here. He said, don't sup with vipers or don't cast your pearls before swine. So I already said and defined, and let's see if you were listening or you're just all wound up. I already told you what Christ said was the word way. Right? Or you said narrow, because he said enter through the straight gate, right? Because narrow is the way that leads to the straight gate. That is the word theologo. See, let me give you a little definition. I already asked you in Greek, so give me the Greek definition or get out of here. You don't know what the narrow way is. You're in the broad way. You're on some Broadway Jesus. How about that? I don't care about giving you the verse. Go check everything I say. Go check at the chapter. Go check everything I say. Check everything. You're supposed to discern everything I say anyways. So tell me what I said or get out of here, narrow. I already defined it. Tell me what it is in Greek. I want to know right now or leave. I'm passionate, not angry. This is passion there. He said, guard his commandments. So I'm pretty much, you got a narrow thing. I think you were in the broad way. Remember, broad is the way that leads to the wide gate. A man's enemies to be one of his own household. So you better start giving me some definition before we start speaking about chapters, slowing down one word at a time in here, narrow. I'm going to narrow you out of here real quick. There's exit stage left or right. So you can take it now or you can do what I ask you to do, lead, follow, or get out of my way. Now, I'm not telling you you're not leading because you ain't leading yet. You got to show me you know one word at a time, which you already defined, to see if you're even listening. It's already defined the word. It's hados, you idiot. Get out of here. Yes, that's fine. That's the version I use too, Shay. Okay, I don't use some weird wild version. None of these are anything that you can't use your concordance. That hadn't been since the 12th century. I read out of an old 12th century book that they literally pulled every word out. Shay, that's why I'm holding this. If that's what it, my eyes messed up. So, but that's why I'm holding this other narrow, because that's his word, narrow. That's the word hados. I already told him. So he can't even listen. And I already told him. I said he loves everyone. I mean, love them enough to let them choose. There's no choose. There's no choice. It's free will. No, it's called self-will. Get out of here, Red. I'm going to rebuke you next. There's no free will. God doesn't love everybody. Most people go to hell. You can't be saved. God's not in the sky. God's a title. He doesn't exist in flesh. He had to birth a flesh vessel, which is the Hamashiach, the ram, right? In flesh. The lamb, he said, before Abraham was I am. David declared him the Lamb of God, you know. So I'm not going to let you add or anything. I won't even add you in anything. So God does not love everybody. You are blasphemous. And anybody who says peace is an antichrist. Anybody who says peace is antichrist. He said, do not think I came to bring shalom, peace. I came to bring a sword of division. Get out of here. You're done. Red is out of here. They're antichrist. Anybody who tells you peace or safety, prosperity, gospel, no, thalipsis, that's what you're going to learn here, okay? Tribulation, that's the word tribulation. Guarantee these idiots don't speak any Greek, any Hebrew, none. So hold on, Slay. Let me get back to this, whoever this person was in here. Narrow, are you still in here? Speak up, because I'm about to narrow you out of here. Nope, you're out of here. See, you can't. Goodbye. So anyways, brothers, sisters, there's only one gospel. And if you add a jot to the gospel, okay, if you add a jot to the, that's the other gospel, period. So every word that I have spoken here today, I've defined. And I had to unlearn for about 10 years, a whole decade. Now, I was still trying to relearn, but it takes a lot of unlearning because you don't define the words that are in the King James Version that were canonized at the Council of Nicaea in the 12th century. This is done by Constantine. I know that has issues. 150 Catholics, 150 Christians. I rebuke all of them today, but that's as close as you're going to get. With the lexicon, they took out and defined each word. So shut up if you don't use a lexicon. Shut up if you don't know use an e-sword. If you don't know what the word Haggadah is, leave now or be quiet. If you don't know what the word halakha is, be quiet. I'd like to help you, but I'm not willing to help a goat. Because I can't turn a goat into a sheep. That's already been chosen from the foundation of the world. So nobody's going to try to make you come to Jesus. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts, which is not that name, but we'll use it for translation's sake, not literal transliteration, dialect, dysglossa, tongue, because that would be perverting, right? If I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, which it says in that book is continuously filled with wickedness. If I didn't call out to their continuously filled with wickedness hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So don't worry, you're not coming to God because you want to. He's making you do it. You're not going to get anybody. That's why you can't accept Christ. If you want to be saved, that's the Greek word salvation. He said you have to endure to the end. That means you have to die. Everybody's got to be judged at one time, and then you are saved. No time before then are you saved. You have to endure to the end until you receive judgment. Then he comes back and redeemed what he bought, paid, and purchased for, because you are saved. That's the word redemption. He comes back the next day to pick it up, redemption. 2 days later, redemption. 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months, a decade, a millennium, 2,600 plus. He still hasn't come back yet, and he's still preparing today. He said, have your lamps trimmed, have extra oil, and be burning bright. Have Maranatha until I return. Have your loins girded in my service. So are you doing what he's asking you to do in his book? Okay? You can't be saved. You're an idiot. See, look at this, brothers, sisters. This is the idiocracy of the world. You cannot be saved. You have to, this is the Greek word sozo, S-O, salvation, sozo, S-O-Z-O, to be carried, picked up, lifted from beginning point to an ending point and healed. And he said you have to endure to the end if you want to be saved. So you just never heard of this. So if you disagree with it, just go now. I won't even argue with you. You can't turn a goat into a sheep. Father already chose who's going to be at the wedding feast of the Lambs. Only reason that they'll have their name blotted out of that book is by self-will, not free will. There's no free will. There's no luck. There's no fortunes. God's not in the sky. Heaven's not in the sky. Hell's not below your feet. Earth's not below your feet. You don't live on a planet. If you disagree with any of this, please leave now. And if you're not talking about anything that's on subject, go. Quit being a child. Read the 7 things to be matured is the number of maturity, 7. He tells you to do the 7 things in Scripture. Do those, come back, and we'll visit with you later. Thanks for your time. Don't let the door hit you. I'm going to use a pagan term where that means master, where the good Lord. It wasn't ever written in the King James Version, Lord. No Christ, no Lord, no Jesus, no Lucifer, no planet, no devil. All these words were never in the text. So you use translations. Translations, okay? I'm off-grid. I live out in the high desert, where the oldest clothing on this rock. I raise my own. I eat food that I raise. I've been off out here for 10 years, self-sufficient. I have multiple ways to heat, cool, all those things. So been able to pay the land off out here. Been trying to get people to come out here for some time, but nobody wants to join me. So I think I'm going to be leaving and going to South America, where I can teach the gospel in Espanol. Try to learn to, I know it in Greek, I know it in Hebrew, I know it in English. I want to learn it in Spanish. I poquito español. I know how to speak. I grew up speaking pretty good Spanish. I grew up around predominantly Latino people, which I love, familia, too much partying a little bit, but, moderation, all things, but, everywhere. I hope to someday travel everywhere in the world. I want to go to Argentina. I want to go there. I want to go to Argentina right now a lot. It's a place I want to see. I have to go down to Ecuador, buy the ministry if I can. If not, I'll see you in Ecuador. I really will. I'm hoping I can get out of here as soon as I can. I'm serious. If Father's got to unchain me. So, but I want to share the gospel, because the Israel that it says in the book of Revelation is in Argentina, and it's in Russia, and it's in Israel, but it's just a little bit. God doesn't love everybody. He loves a little bit of everybody this time. He only loved the house of Aaron and Levite. Remember, he didn't love the Gentiles. They couldn't even enter into the temple. Remember, a woman couldn't even speak. Under this covenant, Jew, Gentile, man, woman, black, white, brown, red, yellow, good and evil, all flesh, but just a little bit of everybody. So that's why I said earlier, God doesn't love everybody. He's an all-loving, that all flesh would be fulfilled. Like I said, in that day, that meant like there's 12 eggs to a dozen. I told you I have eggs. That's a whole. That meant all flesh. Black, white, brown, red, yellow, not just Aaron and Levite. So it's not hard. I want to learn this in different languages and teach this and have others teach me in these languages. Now I go to Argentina, I can learn that in Espanol. Poquito, I know much, but if I get around it, you know what I'm saying? Good stuff. Thank you for putting Scripture in here. If you're going to use it and put it in here, then put the text in there. Okay, retards. That's what you think we're retards. Okay, redskin. Redskin, man, there's red. What do you mean red? Like the pagans that were here? The Native Americans weren't native. They wandered from the ice bridge, came from the south, the Mayans. They were heathens and pagans. So what do you mean red? You don't know what red is. I don't think you have any idea what red is. So let me get rid of some of this low energy swine in here, brothers, sisters. He said, do not sup with vipers. Okay. Just so you know, you don't have to sup with vipers. Do not cast your pearls before swine. You show people the narrow way. If they don't want it, move on. You're not going to turn a goat into a sheep. It's not possible. God already chose who's going to the wedding. This is not about a religion. You'll see if you hang in this ministry. I rebuke all the religions, all of them. That's going to be hard to do to Catholics. They're really staunch religious people, but we'll teach them about the communion, the masse, the crackers and grape juice. That's Catholicism, which is predominantly heavily, Latino people are Catholics. So it's a challenge. It's something I've wanted to do for more than a decade. So hopefully Father will bless me, and that's what we'll do. And you can watch that because we'll live stream these things. So I'm trying to get down to Ecuador, because down in Ecuador, I've been looking at a property that has 20 plus different kinds of fruit that I can't grow here at this ministry. I've built an outdoor garden out here, but I plan on doing a large geothermal one at this location here in the high desert. But I'm trying to get down to Ecuador to tithe food back to. We have about 50,000 subscribers and followers between TikTok and the backup channels and YouTube here on YouTube. So it's a large ministry, you know, it's larger than a mega church, and that's the beautiful thing. So I'm hoping someday Father will unchain me here and soon, and I can go travel and I can share this gospel with everybody, because his bride is on all continents. It's not just somewhere. Israel is not what he's talking about in the middle of the desert. It's a spiritual Israel. These are spiritual, inwardly spiritual Jews, because Christ is inside us. He's not in a temple made by hands. He said that. I've tattooed my hands. The Most High does not dwell in temples made by hands. So nobody can put me under the laws of flesh. I'm not bound by law or fate. I am destined. I'm already chosen from the foundation of the world. Prognosco, Romans 8:29. I also did foreknow who I did predestine. Those means the ones he divided us in our flesh and prisoned us in this meat suit, and he pulls us to be from above, not in the sky, from above, meaning without flesh. We're supposed to live like we don't have this flesh, and the people around us don't affect us. We just do what Father tells us. He's our master. He's our Lord, and we're supposed to carry our cross, which means to be crucified. Nobody carried crosses. Nobody hung from crosses. I need the dialect. I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to really have Father show me the those in the, in these other dialects, gloss of tongue, and these other languages, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure once I can get out on the road, I'll pick it up. I will. I know there's people who want this gospel bad. They do. They want this meat. And that's what Father told me to do. Share it. Don't hide it in a basket. Don't hide that light. Put it at the top of your house. Not like pride. Don't boast because you know, but woe if you don't go out and share it. Put it at the top of your house and let it shine. He is the light. He's the horizo is what he said. He didn't say light. He said, I am the horizo. See the separation of this dark, and it gets light in the morning hours, right? Morning, people weep and mourn. We'll use these dialects. At the top of the day, the sun comes up at that horizo. He said, I am the horizo. I'm the separator. I condemn. Under this gospel, I condemn. You go out and judge with righteous judgment. You use my word. Put me at the top of your house. Let it shine. Let me be that light. Don't judge people with your word. You used to be able to judge. If somebody came out to your house and killed your brother, you can sneak in his house and eye for an eye and kill his brother. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We're not under that covenant. Those are the laws of flesh. He fulfilled it. And when he hung on that tree that day, he said it was fulfilled. So all these laws have been fulfilled of the flesh, rituals, fees, fines, celebrations. Today, we don't keep the Sabbath, do this Sabbath day. We do this every day. Who shall ever come after me, let deny themselves daily. Don't do what the world's doing. They're still celebrating. We're not celebrating anymore. Christ fulfilled all the celebrations, all the rituals. Remember the price he paid? He paid the bride price, right? To meet, at the wedding feast of the Lambs, to have their names called out in that book, so that you don't have to pay that price that he paid in flesh. And if you do suffer in flesh, he will cover you not for your own sins, for standing up to the perversion of this law. So will he cover you for your sins? Maybe, but you got to be rebuked by Father. What are you standing up for your sins for? You have to be rebuked before you can ever be forgiven, and you have to walk in repentance before you can ever be forgiven. So there's just no ask to get forgiveness. That's not what forgiveness is. See, we didn't even have forgiveness. That's what these fake Jews, people want to pull Christ down from the tree, don't believe that he, hung there for the forgiveness of sins of his bride. These are the people, he loves his bride, brothers, sisters, and that's who he fulfilled this covenant with, okay, is his bride and his bride only. So Father doesn't love everybody, okay? He didn't love the Gentiles, and he doesn't love everybody now. He only loves the people. He said, if I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, those ones, that not one of them would. So he already chose who's going to be his bride. So you're not going to out there turn goats into sheep. It's not possible. Don't worry about it. You're not going to show somebody, or turn them in. You can show them to the narrow way, but if they're in the broad way, that's all you can do. Just show them in the book, tell them where it says it, and move on. Don't sup with vipers. That's why I think we should get maybe Song Rock out of here, or Fraggle Rock. They're probably like a puppet on a string. They don't like this, so they got some kind of brain rot, right? That's what they said. Brain rot in capital letters, screaming like a baby, kicking and screaming, pounding on the rah, kicking and screaming. No screaming in here, okay? Michelle, was that vomit? It was Reggie, not Michelle anyways, too. So don't worry about it. Michelle. Let me see your Adam's apple, Michael. Okay, Reggie. So move along. Little doggy. So all right, let's go back to what we're going, because we're getting a little off the topic, but that's all right. We'll always have time for the gospel. Are you ready for your fake Antichrist, golden Antichrist? Because there's no physical Antichrist. It's already here. The Antichrist is already being revealed. Revelation, the 1945 ritual that I'm telling you that's going on, the 923, World War II equals nothing new under the sun, World War III. They're doing it again, all these rituals. Now they're detaining people just like they did in World War II. Walmart's who did it last time, now it's private contractors. Well, they are privately, subsidized corporation, Walmart and Department in cooperation with Department of Homeland Security. That's why they scan your eyes when you walk in their store and metadata all this to the NSA, and well, this so they can create your buying habit. This so they can think everybody can think robots can learn, and robots don't learn, and robots aren't alive, and God's not in the sky, but they're going to make robots and gods come out of the sky, because 99% of these people in this world think robots and gods are in the sky, and God's not in the sky. Remember, Father only visited one day a year behind the veil. The veil, that's the word. Well, to remove the veil means revelation, to reveal. Remember, it was housed, the 10 Commandments, on stone tablets, not an iTab, or what iTab? I just said iTab. How about Bobcat Goldthwait that drank tab? Man, I was going to do a Bobcat Goldthwait. I can't do a Bobcat Goldthwait, man. I don't even think I'm even pronouncing his name right. But anyways, we got to entertain you guys, right? Give you enough bread and circus and you'll never revolt. You'll just stand there. The only thing it takes for evil to flourish is for good men to stand around. Good people, good women, good men, and do nothing. The silent majority, baby. Don't you think you just made him mad by saying he's not real or tangible? I said he's not flesh, idiot. Okay, maybe you're not an idiot, but I didn't say what you just said. Don't put words in my mouth. I said he doesn't have flesh. He is I am. Remember, he had to birth the flesh vessel to fulfill the Gentile nation through the water, to fulfill, right, through the amniotic fluid, from the age of fire to water. Don't you think you should think about what you say before you put words in my mouth? I said he doesn't exist in flesh. You're an idiot. Once again, I think pretty sure you don't know what you're talking about. So maybe it's because you've never heard. So I'll teach you if you like. He said, call him a teacher. That's the word prophet. But no, this is pleases Father when you bring people to the narrow way. So don't you think it's kind of silly when you open your mouth and you try to insert words that I never said? He said, I am, be born from above. Not again. That's once. Born from above, without flesh. Father doesn't exist in flesh. He doesn't have flesh. Never had flesh, never had breast. He had to birth a flesh vessel to fulfill the Gentile nation. Christ, Thal Mashiach, didn't have breasts. Booby Jesus, that's Satan, the sun god, the one that Donald Trump decorates his house with. So, why is your name Jesus? Is that just your name or something? It's kind of funny. A Hebrew spelling with vowels. No vowels in Hebrew. So maybe it's not Hebrew. You're just being silly or something. Most people don't ever read Hebrew. They don't study. Like the language, was all spoken into existence. Every word has, frequency, wave, vibration. It was just spoken, the toroidal field, the Torah, the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. Remember all these Torah. So, have you ever had a moment to yourself to make sense of what you're saying? Yeah, I sit here every day and I sup with my lexicon so I can define. So let me ask you here if you know what the hell you're talking about. Define the word hell, Garcia. Let's see if you even know what you're talking about. Give me the definition of hell. Well, the baby Jesus. Jesus with three genders. The gender bender Jesus. Come on by it. Give it a try. Hang on a pole. Show us your tits. Remember Mardi Gras? So beads, boobies, round little circles on a string beads out the bunghole. Oh, now we got anal beads going in here. My bad. These people love their anal Jesus. It is. Remember they had sex with That's Lupercalia. Smack that down on that's the heart symbol. Remember? That's the heart. That's that back symbol of that dog, like the doggy style. Doggy style Lupercalia, the one with the wolf. Remember? E-God. Remember I showed everybody that in here, Carl. I did. Told you even before he came out with this Dogecoin thing, or not coin, but the Department of Government Efficiency. And I did the Giannis ritual too in January with expensive eggs. They skipped a year. Remember, skipped Joe Biden? So I knew they were going to do it again. And now they're redoing the ritual. So does anything you make sense there, Garcia? Can you define anything, or are you just really slow to type? You're not very fast at looking things up on the internet. You use DuckDuckGo. Did you duck out of here? Or did you goose lay the golden egg? Remember I said they're golden antichrist? Do you ever sit down and think about what you say before you say it? Ever let it come? I can think about 5 things in my head before I ever say it. How about that? Can you do that? Can you define anything before it comes out of your mouth? Or are you just a slanger? You just slang shit everywhere you talk. It's like a fan. Shit just hit the fan. Oh my gosh, it just hit the fan. Garcia hit the room and he's spraying it everywhere like a Nephilim or a bully. That's the word Nephilim. Or a demon, that's the word liar. So don't lie to other people in here. Why you got to put, are you the thought police? Makes sense. Are you the thought police? Are the YouTube police, thought police? Come on, Garcia, speak up. I really like Hispanic people. I told you I want to go down to, maybe I'll join the military in Venezuela. I'm a prior veteran. We'll kick all these U.S. veterans' asses. They're a bunch of pansy-ass motherfuckers. I was in the military in the 90s. These motherfuckers are in this stress card bullshit. They had no stress cards when I was in the military. Fuck that. They're a bunch of weak-ass soldiers. They don't get the training. They shorten their advanced training. They shorten their basic training. They all go through this different kind of training, and I'm not saying like I'm some kind of super soldier. I didn't serve during Vietnam or anything, but, it was volunteer military. But fuck that. I want out of this country. I like Hispanic people better. So maybe Garcia is not Hispanic. I just tend to mesh a little better with people who are more family oriented, family, try to think about their brothers and sisters. We all got to be on here, this rock, together. And so one race, the human race, and I do tend to like Hispanic people because they are more family oriented. And, white people are like, get the fuck out of the house, go get a job, get a big job, become a big fucking rich, old, fucking ugly white motherfucker and rule the world with all your money. Have so much money that your fucking neighbors are bitching because they can't even grow any goddamn grass because your piles of money are so fucking huge because you're living the American dream. Look, at least these motherfuckers send their money back home. These guys get a new beta game. I got a new Starbucks mug, and I went to the Piggly Wiggly and I got me some rack of ribs. We're gonna barbecue and get some new mud flats. My wife's gonna get some titties. I'm gonna go get new mud flats. We got a deal. You treat your women like wheels, son. Her titties were too small. You went and got bigger ones. Mud flaps too. She got the matching bathing suit. Touchdown! Woo! Football! Dudes fighting over low energy swine skin, dudes in tights, rainbow flavored or numbered jerseys and killing each other. They used to kill each other over gold and silver. And remember, families stay together like Hispanic people, save gold, silver, fight over, and now they fight over IOUs, like Phil Knight, Nike tennis shoes, Air Jordans, and IOUs and tennis shoes. Debt notes. I live in a nation that's completely regressed. People have lost their mind. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend is Hispanic? No, I don't have a Hispanic girlfriend. No, I'm not from the South, but I've been to all 50 states. So I have. I'm a veteran, so I got to travel, obviously, outside. I did all kinds of things in the military I can't talk about, but you know what I'm saying? I have been to all 50 states. I've lived outside, lived in Hawaii. Those great experience being out there not the first time been to Hawaii. Did all my law enforcement certification, my SWAT certification, got trained by Metro LAPD, did all my building entry and underground training. Anyways, but Alaska, lived up there. That was a great experience. But I have, traveled all over, and I've been to every major city in this country, and traveled all. I have a CDL too, and I'm a veteran. I don't have it anymore, but so that gave me experience. So love the South, love people back east. Truly a more definitely kind of person too. People on the West Coast, and it's not everybody, but there's a different people. So I grew up on the West Coast. Not that everything east of the California border was the East Coast. But once I joined the military and I started meeting people from all over, that was a great experience. Right out the gate, joined the military. already was from the melting pot. I was born in Los Angeles, California, in the concrete jungle. Okay. So I grew up around everybody. White, black, brown, red, yellow. And so everybody was ornery to me. My name was Tracy. That was like a girl's name. So Dick Tracy, because I'm older. And my last name is Werner. So they didn't see the R. So it was Tracy Wiener. And I was just, people are always fighting and trying to get my lunch money to school. But I love everybody. I joined the military. I don't see race. I don't see color. And I know people think that's hard to fathom in their head, but I don't see. Father created one race, the human race. See this equator right here? I'm hoping to go to the Ecuador, equator. Father didn't put melanin, make us less melanated or more melanated because of race or we have different ethnicity and culture, but one race, the human race, black, white, brown, red, or yellow. Those are all derogatory, if you ask me, honestly. We're all one race. We're the human race. We all got to be here, man and woman. And if I'm a veteran, I'm sitting in a foxhole and this guy's got my 6, do you think I care how melanated his skin is, less or more, or the shape of his eyes? When I know somebody's trying to pop my grape, split my wig, take my head off. Hell no, I don't see color, guys. And I know you guys think that, but racism is taught to us. Look, there's 4 kids that are under 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? There's 4 kids that are 4 years old. One's from Russia, one's from South Africa, one's from, over in maybe Afghanistan, and one's from China, and they're playing in a playground. Do you think they see color? And I'm talking about out back east too, brothers, sisters, because there's such thing as a white nigger. I grew up in Los Angeles, so I can say that. I say it to any ethnicity. I don't care. Nigger is an attitude. It's not a word. It's an attitude. It's somebody who thinks they're owed something. They got a chip on their shoulder. So I'll say that to anybody. I don't care. I grew up in Los Angeles. I will say that in front of any. There's no black. Nobody was ever black. That's fucking derogatory as shit. Somebody's black, they're fucking guilty right out the gate. Fuck you, I'm black. You want to see black? There's black. Is that not fucking black enough for you? Does that look black? See, I'm black. Fuck you. Or brown. If I was black, I'd tell people, fuck you. I ain't black. I'm brown, motherfucker. And I don't do color. What I'm saying? That's right. We all bleed red blood. Okay. So, white, black, round, this is, we're all one race, brothers, sisters. I don't see how we're different people. We have more melanated, but we're not more melanated or less melanated. Children play on a playground and are more or less melanated, and they don't care. They just play. We teach racism, brother, sister. Racism is taught. I know it. I grew up on the West Coast. When I went back east and I heard people like nigger this and nigger that and nigger this, I was like, what the hell? And they're like, well, that's what grandpa said. And it's a term. They don't even know. That's all they never been out of, maybe they grew up in Louisville, but, somewhere in Kentucky or Alabama or, I'm saying, Louisiana, that's all they know. Grandpa said it. They said it. My dad said it, even in LA, but he wasn't like that. He would help out anybody. He just didn't like people that had that. I remember my dad would help out people, like I said, people were called negro, and Caucasian, not black or white. See, if somebody's white, they're completely innocent. You've thrown a white cape over them, and like a bride that's never been railed and nailed, she has been bent over and she's wearing a white dress with your pagan ritual. You see what I'm saying? You throw a covering over somebody if they're white. That's nobody was ever white. That's why they fucked up Obama's fake birth certificate, because they didn't even put negro. They put black. That's not what they said at that time. That's how weak his birth certificate was, brothers, sisters. Born in Kenya, Barack Obama, Barry Soetoro, went to high school as Barry, you know what I'm saying? A known homosexual with his wife Reggie, who played for the Oregon State Beavers. I mean, come on. Oh my goodness. So, brothers, sisters, like I said, I apologize for being, but this is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? This is the way it is. People don't want to hear this. So this is what we're facing right now, right in front of you. You got all this right in front of your face. You got these people nobody's paying attention to what's going on. And that's good. This is your opportunity now, because opportunities aren't, falling in most people's laps like mine. They're made, So this is a blessing, to show people to hey, come on, we're all here together. We got to get along. If they're goats, just depart from them. Don't fight with people. Let Father fight all your own battles. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, Paul said. You have a higher battle, principalities, powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world. This is not a flesh battle. Remember, not against flesh and blood. Spiritual wickedness is all spiritual. Spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore I say unto you, put on the armor. He already said it. Put on the armor of God in Ephesians 6:11. So read this word, and it should call out to you. You realize that Father didn't want us to be fighting with each other. He created one race, the human race. Show people under this covenant to the narrow way. If they're in the broad way, judge them righteously, Father will condemn them. He separates the wheat from the tares. Everybody you come across, judge with righteous judgment. You're love thy neighbor like thy enemy, like thyself. That's part of this righteous judgment. Use the word. Don't give them your word, what you think. Show them what it says in Scripture. Tell them what it says. You don't have to pick out every verse and chapter, but know what it says. Seek and ye shall find. If you actually sit down with this word, he'll reveal it to you a lot quicker than you can actually imagine. I'm still studying the word, but I don't have to pick this book up to say what's in this book. And that doesn't make me special in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to answer that question. Why are you asking stupid questions like that right now? I mean, you're asking somebody who sold meat for more than 10 years. So you want the best cut of meat on the whole cow? The chuck eye comes off the eye of the round of the roast. Chuck eye. Chuck eye. Let's go get it, man. I'm telling you, that chuck eye, oh, you're going to love it. Fat, put beef bouillon, garlic powder, salt on it, and pepper. That's it. Don't put anything else on it. And that'll be the best steak you've ever had in your life. Guarantee you. Come back in and tell me that is the best. You know what I'm saying? Best steak you ever had. Seriously, beef bouillon. Go get Knorr's beef bouillon. That's my secret. I'm giving you my secret right out the gate. People ask me, what the heck is on that steak? So, chuck eye steak. It's not easy to find. It used to come on the eye of the round. Now they cut it off and sell it. They never used to. But you can find it now. It's called the chuck eye. Not a ribeye. It's kind of like a ribeye. The fat's similar, but I like the chuck eye better because it's a sirloin. I sold meat for more than 10 years. I owned a business selling all Angus, all free range chicken, gold medallion, trackable, traceable, genetically mod, none of that. No hormones, none of that. So I know you asked the right person, but that's kind of a silly question. So, well, he said eat of the meat, so I will give you the meat. So don't tell everybody, but tell everybody you know. You know what I'm saying? I do. Sometimes I go to the store where that chuck eye is not there anymore because I know I tell too many people. You know what I'm saying? So no worries. Give me cracked corn. You don't want to eat meat that's been raised with corn, okay? Grain, grass-fed beef, brothers and sisters. Remember, eat of the meat. So try to get away from this food that's been terrorizing us, brothers and sisters, our bodies. That's why I'm trying to get out of America, too. I can't stand how much I don't eat as good as I could. Now, I raise my own chickens, and I don't have sheep or goats out here anymore, so I don't raise red meat, and I want to, but I just don't have enough people here. And I don't even know if I'm going to stay here long enough to do that. So I will get that down in Ecuador, but I'm not ready to do that here. I've done it before. I've raised my own hogs, chickens, rabbits, sheep, goats, all that. But even had the neighbor's cows here for some time. But I don't want to do it in America. I got to eat a better diet, and my diet here is killing me. I mean, I'm not dead or anything, but it's just I don't have. I'm fine. I work a lot, and I do, but I just don't feel like the food that here is just acceptable, and I'm not able to have enough people here with me to grow a large enough food source. I waste it, and it does, and it's a lot of work to sit there and do, a homestead by yourself, try to grow food, garden, fruits, vegetables, meat, all this, the feed and all on $0. I'm a veteran that gets no benefits, no Social Security, no disability. I live off the sweat of my brow and these hands right here, and I barter and I horse trade, and that's like, I'm a trader. I sell and fix things up and do the best that I can. And I live way out in the middle of nowhere, so it's not easy to sell. So this is what I do. I tithe and give what I can. So that's why I do this ministry. And I know that if I can get out of here and get down out of this country, I'll feel better. I hate the country. I don't hate the people. I hate the sin that most people commit. I don't hate the sinner. I don't like what this country at all has become. And it just wears me out. I think my son is dead and if not, he's never going to talk to me again. And not just 16 months of being terrorized by the police and grenaded to the face, just trying to help my son, and tear gassed, and my animals tear gassed. All the crap I've gone through has just been, it's time to take a break from America. This country I've already served the country, got the honorable discharge, so I can take a vacation, can I? Well, not until I get this stuff dealt with and find out, they're going to have to deal with it sooner or later with my son's situation. So I'll find out someday if he's alive or dead. I don't know. I've done everything. I've been thinking about this so much. It's been like, I'm giving up on him, but I'm not. I mean, remember I just called the state police, 3 days ago to report him dead or murdered or kidnapped or missing, and they won't even take the report. So these are the people who came out and tried to kill me, and now he's possibly dead, and they won't take a report on him. It's quite strange. This country has gone far from the constitutional republic to this guilty until proven innocent. So it's not innocent until proven guilty. This case is 100, a fail of right of due process, Sixth Amendment, speedy trial. Just the whole case is a wash. So um, hoping to get out of here soon, eat better food, and you know what I'm saying? That, food is important to me. I want to tithe food to the ministry back. I want to grow organic food, eat organic food, and share organic food with everybody around this rock, all four corners, north, east, west, and south, and send it to the ministry. That's what this ministry is. Hopefully, we'll see someday. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I'm putting as much effort into it as I possibly can right now. Everything I have, and I'm throwing everything on the table here. Okay, so so sometimes life ain't Burger King. You just gotta suck it up, move out, and draw a fire. Uh, yeah, well, that's what Father. I'm a messenger. I'm what would the scripture would call an angelos or an angel. Okay. And that's not what people think. People get that all twisted when I say that. A messenger is somebody I declare the message because I have to. It says don't boast because but if you don't. So the blood is on my hands if I don't, get this off of my hands. And I've told you, now it's up to you. I've done my job. This is what he made me do. So I've been told since I was young, I sell you shoot off your own back. I'll sell pond water to Eskimos in Alaska. Remember, I was in Alaska, so. But most people can't think about what they say before they say it. My dad told me that when I was real young. He taught me to stop and think about what I was saying. So I learned to think about 5 things before I start and actually spoke. And I'm actually thinking about something else right now in my head. But I don't, what I'm saying? It's just something that Father made. It's not that I want to be this way. I want to die and shut this off. This head is driving me crazy, but I'm all right. I got a Rolodex back there and a file system, and it's slamming and clanging back there. Well, whatever. I got a playlist now, right? Or we got an upgrade, right? We're quantum or D-Wave up there, back there now. We got an upgrade, woo! But not by getting boosted. It's just more input, Not a virus that corrupts the mainframe. So, virus is not alive. Remember Bill Gates, Microsoft virus? Oh, well, pride is just something we do that sometimes. That's to try to rise. That's why, remember, it was only sin that got the Satan cast from Father's. You know, he used to be the right hand man. People forget Satan was Father's right hand man. They went together like a hand and a glove. But then remember, he tried to rise and shine above, and that's just like adding a jot that I say to the scripture. You're making your own law. So you're trying to become sovereign and above the law. So if you have something pride, just take it back to the word. Humble yourself by just read more of the word. Go back to read the word. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about Satan. Satan. You know what I'm saying? Satan. So we all do that though. You know what I'm saying? So if there's something that um, do you have a warm bed? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have animals that love you and care about you? People? I don't. Do you have a husband, a wife? Do you have? People are struggling right now, hardcore. And so just sometimes if you think, man, I'm rocking and rolling. There's people who are struggling every day to have what you have. People would die to have your life right now. You know what I'm saying? They would die. There are people in third world countries. We're getting pretty third world here in America that would just die to eat what we eat, even if it was crap. The water we drink, the air we breathe. That's not that good. The air we breathe is not that good, but we have it good. We spent a lot of time in here in this ministry, and we are able to be in a time where nobody's banging down our door trying to send us to camp or make us get on the train and that could come. So we should what did Nate say? He talked about it in his prepper video. um, you know um, one day right now, you're going to wish when this day X, as he calls it, and we're pretty much here. We really are, brothers and sisters, that you didn't get down to the Home Depot, or you didn't do that one project, or it's going to take you 100 days. 100 days to do the same thing that would have taken you one day right now. You know what I'm saying? One day right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We got it good. You know, we have it really good right now, and we're able to be so blessed that to just have each other here too and have the gospel. Think about how many other people are actually sharing the Lipsis gospel every day, having this ability to do it. People don't normally even have time to rob Peter to pay Paul. The people die for the time we spend in here. See, remember I talked about that before. You know, what would you rather have, a bunch of money or a bunch of time? You know, a bunch of time so you can do what you want, or a bunch of money so you can buy your happiness? You know, you tell me. You know, would enough money make you happy, or is that what's where you're, you know? So, you know, let's be thankful that Father gave us such a blessing, and who are we to waste a second of our day to be doing something except for be girded in his service, because he blessed us with so much of his love, his agape, that most of what we should be doing is sharing it with others. Why I spend so much time in here, because Father has given me such a big, you know, blessing, that it would be right to just hide it in a basket, you know. So I know people think they come in here and think I'm, you know, somebody called me conceited the other day or whatever, and I get that too. But I don't have pride. I don't, you know, about 98% of what I do involves other people. I don't hardly ever do anything for myself, and I'm actually just kind of getting tired of dragging these old bag of bones around, you know. So I'm ready to go take a vacation, like I said, eat some fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, and get out of this country, and you know, try to enjoy familia, people who are more family oriented, and learning new languages and seeing new things that I haven't seen. I'm just getting a little burnt on this whole US of A thing. And I want, actually, if I get out of this country, I don't want to even talk about the USA anymore at all for a while. I want to put it behind me. I've spent so much time defending this country, you know what I'm saying? Um, Trying to, you know, stand up for the right of the people. So, you know, it's you know, it's a blessing to even think that we live right in the belly of the beast. If you live in America, and, you know, to be a witness to this, this is a tough, you know, it's not an easy place like people think. I mean, people do come here because the cost of living is, you know, you can make you know, I could take this, what I just spent on that attorney, I could live for 10 years in Ecuador. 10 years. 10 years I could have, what I just paid for that attorney. You know, this property, $47,000, I could have lived in Ecuador for, I could have retired down there with that, you know, but instead I paid off the ministry. So, you know what I'm saying? So Father is going to make sure everything is where he wants to be, though, too. So try to remember that sometimes when you fall short and you're like, you get ahead of yourself, just humble yourself. Remember, Father's creator. He wrote all things, created all things, you know. So if he didn't want you to be doing what you're doing, even if you don't like what you're doing, even if it's one of those things where he's rebuking you because, man, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not doing, I am doing, I should start, I'm not, you know, whatever it is, just know that Father's wrote all things. Just go back to the word. What are you doing in your life? Are you getting your lamp? You know, is it filling it with oil? Are you having extra oil? Are you girded in his service? Are you ready to die yesterday? You know, are you ready to die today? You know, that's what you should be thinking. So if you get a little ahead of yourself, don't be afraid of death. Remember, just, am I ready? Am I ready to go? Is there anything I need to do? Am I ready to face Father? It might be 1,000 years. I might lay in that dirt before the dead are raised from the ashes and the dust. You know what I'm saying? Um, People are savages, absolutely. So it's a hard time to be alive. Hard time to be alive. Um, you know, it's they've got this divide and conquer thing called your L and your G and your B and your R and your T and your two, you know, and you're black and you're Democrat and you're a Republican and you're from this country and no, we're all one race, brothers, sisters. And that's why we're so far from this aletheia, from this truth. And that's why people are acting exactly the way they are, because people don't love the word anymore. People love the world. And when you have people that have fallen from grace, and are vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, they're going to go out there and do all these horrible things. I was seriously thinking about this yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Um, Father is so good at creating evil. Man, I never thought the evil he created could be this evil. And guess what? We ain't even begun to see the evil that he's about to unleash through, sorrows, as it says. This is not the end. But this is the beginning. You'll see all these things coming to pass since the beginning of time: wars, rumors of wars, famine, and pestilence of the word too. The word is a disease. It's people are starving. They're not getting it. Earthquakes in diverse places. This is not the end, but this is the beginning of what is called sorrow. So everything from here should get a lot worse. Well, that's not very good. Well, that's just the way it is. Deal with it and try to deal with it the best you can so you can help others along this, sorrows where it's going to be like a woman in labor. You know what I'm saying? Where it's going to pull back and they're going to fall asleep thinking it's over. No, it's not. It's going to come back more intense. Those who say peace or safety, sudden destruction will come upon those who call out for peace. Let's not talk peace. That's not what we do in here. That's that other peace and prosperity gospel, which is antichrist. That's not the teaching of Paul. And that's not the teaching of Christ. It's not the teaching of Matthew, Peter, Luke, none of the apostles. They all went and taught this narrow way. Narrow is the way, not broad way. Broadway is that easy Jesus, and that's not what we do in here. So the path to Father, the only way to the Father is through the Son, and that is the hados. That's the narrow way. So you're going to get pushed. You are. That's the word hados, right? The way, the narrow way, to be in the same narrow way. So hados, like being pushed through a sieve. You know what I'm saying? But those who call out for peace and safety, right? Sudden destruction will come upon those who call out for shalom. Do not think I came to bring shalom, peace. I came to bring a sword of division that will divide. So peace is antichrist, a false teacher. The prophet, antichrist, scorpidzo, the one causes the sheep to scatter. It's going to get sorrows, not peace, not shalom. Do not think I came to bring peace. The scepter shall not depart from Judah till Shiloh returns. I came to bring a sword of division. That's the one that holds the crown to the church. Paul said we must go through much thlipsis, not peace and prosperity. That's antichrist. So shalom, that's because they find inner peace with Father, showing people to the narrow way. That's where they find their rest, because we don't rest. We don't sleep. We don't have peace. That's where we find our sleep. That's where we find our rest. That's where we find our shalom. But don't call out for peace. Don't call out for prosperity. Go tell people that there's sorrows. That means things are going to get a lot worse. Not great again. MAGA is the high priest of the Satan church. So remember that. He's not a peace Jesus. That's the Antichrist. So who shall ever come after me, let them deny themselves daily, take up your cross daily, follow after me daily. My disciples, take up your cross, follow after me. This is the same. It's not going to be peaceful. I warn you of people who call out for shalom or peace, brothers and sisters. Those are antichrist. Your rest, your peace, is in the gospel. And that's the narrow way. So sending you the word that's his word. So Possibly. Sonia. I think they've got something in there. They've got all those protests coming up in Washington, D.C. So they got something, more of these no kings type of so something's going on. They got something in the works, obviously. He's bringing these National Guard. I think they're going to have some provocateurs, some patsies shoot at the National Guard this time. Well, they put them out on the streets. They put the Marines on the streets and said, hey, we're guarding these federal buildings. So I think they're definitely, they got some, and they're already doing it, but they definitely have something bigger planned for this whole, with him federalizing Washington, D.C. And he needs that final shot off, to the bow, if you will, to kick this thing into full, every state under martial law, full, we're already under, a national emergency. So he needs to put military on not just 19 states, but every state in this country. So it's coming. They're ready. I think they're real close to whatever. I'm not picking times, you know what I'm saying? But there's these dates, you know, that they have planned these events. So I show people like, well, this is what they're doing on this day, this day, this day. They've got like 3 protests in Washington planned in just in this month of September coming up. So 9/23, here we are, the 9/23 ritual, and not the date of 9/23, you know. So we're getting that's what he said. He said, remember, he said, I tighten the Pleiades, which are the 7 stars, which are the 7 candlesticks, which were then the churches, or the 7 churches, right? You know, and I loosen, right, Orion's belt. So the Pleiades, that's the churches, that's us. So that's his body. Your body's a temple, absolutely. If I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. Many are called, but few are chosen. Called, but few are chosen, right? They'll know them by my, right? Anybody who tries to enter any other way is a thief and a robber. So don't rob yourself. You know, God need to have that crown when you get there at day of judgments to set at the feet of Shiloh, so he can give you your heir, which you're supposed to be receiving. If you don't have that crown, he said, Revelation 3:11, I come quickly, let no one take your crown. So most people don't know what he's talking about. So that's what we do, show people to the narrow way. That's what this ministry is all about, fellowshipping. People be hungry for this meat. Give them the meat. That's what he said, eat of the meat. So that's what I'm giving here, not this watered down religious nonsense. He's not a religion. He is the word. He birthed the flesh vessel to fulfill the Gentile nation. He came in the name of his father. He spoke his father's word. He said, before Abraham was I am. So he made it very clear who he is and why he came to fulfill this covenant of flesh. Not everybody, a little bit of everybody, all loving God, but not everybody. So he's bringing Marines on the strength to protect. Yep. No. They got, like I said, I think what's next is this Project Blue Book. It's this, you know, directed energy and tech, and they got to get the whole world, you know, thinking that there's these gods in the sky and this alien factions, and you'll see, they're not hiding it. They've already put it in so many movies, and so it's very easy to see how they'll do this too. Most people, if you can walk down the street right now, and you got in your car and you did a live YouTube and you ask people where God's at, they're going to point above their head, and that's not where Father's at. If you ask them where is heaven at, they're going to point above their head, and heaven's not above your head. When God says to meet him in the sky, they're going to point above their head. That's not what he means. That's not what the sky means. There's people who just got the scripture all wrong. Earth's not below your feet. Hell's not below your feet. You don't live on a planet. Heaven's not above your head. No, God's not in the sky. This is why he divorced his bride Israel, and that's exactly what they're doing again today. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing today. They're doing the same thing they did at the time of Rome. Nothing's changed but the weather. Remember what King Solomon said? Nothing new under the sun. So I'm thinking here, you know, with this military in 19 states, this just kind of a prelude. You know, all these things that are going on in some of these states like South Dakota. I ain't heard anything about South Dakota. I ain't heard some of these states. I know in some of these states, and now he's wanting to put them in the sanctuary cities as well. So it won't be too long before I think we'll have military in all 50 states, and he's going to put, the captain's going to put on the fasten seatbelt sign, which means you're going to have military checkpoints throughout this country at a lot of locations. They might start controlling the food or something, saying, no, you can't go into the grocery stores anymore. You can only use curbside service. There's no going in the stores or something. Who knows what they have planned, brothers and sisters, but I'm sure it'll all involve food. Absolutely. You control the food, you control the people. They're already doing that. So definitely be wise to, you know, the coming events, because they're writing, the writing's on the wall. You know what I'm saying? So It's not going to be hard to pull, guys. Brothers and sisters, everybody thought a virus is alive, and a virus is not alive. They thought the boogie virus, they were going to get the virus, wear your mask so you don't cough on people and get your nose, and you can call it the boogie virus or whatever. The boogeyman, remember? We're all going to die. If you don't wear the face diaper, you don't like old people, you want old people to die. Stand on the X, go inside, No, I'm not married. Not married. Got married once. I had a kid once. I don't know if he's alive now, but I got a kid once. Got married one time. So, but I think Father's crafting me the perfect, well, nothing's perfect, but the perfect person for me. You know what I'm saying? And if not, I'm going to die single, a happy man. So I don't need somebody to complete me. They add to me. Remember, equally yoked, right? So they add, So, but maybe if Father blesses me, that would be awesome. I get tired of being alone sometimes, but I'm okay with being alone. I don't need to be with somebody to be happy. I'm a happy dude without somebody. I'm happy. I don't want anybody to bitch at me and tell me what the hell I need to do, but that's okay. I don't have problems in that area of my relationship, Army. I don't. So, but if Father blesses me, I'm hoping he is shaping the perfectly equally yoked woman, so I never have to be married or just, I don't want a loner girlfriend or a loner wife. I'd rather just spend the rest of my day single than to be with somebody that I can't be with, even if it was just not for a day. Whenever I say the boy got to work, why even start it? So does that make sense? So, but maybe someday. I think I'm one of the best catches on this rock. I do. I'm not trying to be above myself, but I'm a lot of dude. I really am. I'm more man than most. I'm not better than them. I mean by more, but I'm both sides. I'm in touch with my feminine side, all that nonsense. I'm not talking like that. I'm an emotional guy. I like to talk about things. I don't like to hit you on the head over the, in a cave and drag you off to have my way with you. I want to tickle you a little bit and give you some poems or something. I'm kind of a hopeless romantic when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's the little things that matter to me. So then I might bang you over the head and take you in the cave. No. So I'm just a weirdo. I don't think any woman could even deal with me for more than I tell people most people only take small doses of me. So it's okay. If Father wanted somebody to be with me, it'd be like, to be somebody right here, right now. So, because it's not that I wouldn't enjoy having company. I like having a relationship. I just haven't found an equally yoked, like you said. So I'm okay with nobody I was ever been with because I just wasn't equally yoked. And I don't want to be with somebody and I'm 100% equally yoked to them. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, but thank you, Father, for that. That I can be self-sufficient, and if I didn't have anybody until I died, I already had probably had more sex than the law allows. So don't never let my girlfriend tell me no, but I'll get, 2 popsicle sticks and some duct tape if she wants it. So it's kind of mutual, and no, it's not like that, but just being silly. But I don't know. We'll see what Father has in plan for me. I ain't making no plans. I'll tell you that. I don't think anybody looking. Having anybody trying to, I know I talked to my ex. She's a pretty amazing person, but we're friends, and we'll see. Um, she's got a lot on her plate, and so we're both kind of different places or whatever. But I have only dated 2 people like in the last 15 years or something like that. So it was only just a few years that I dated. So I like being single. I really do. It has a lot of advantages to. I'm a really busy guy, so I don't want to give somebody half of my heart. That'd suck. If I couldn't give you all, I want all of you. What's that song? So maybe someday. I'm not that ugly. I mean, I'm not what I look like in my 20s. I don't think I'm look like the back of an ass or a trash can, but it's not all about looks. It's about what's inside you. And I want a woman to fall in love with my brain. So first. So, All right, let's move on with this subject. This is starting to get a little Dr. Phil in here. Oh man, what am I have for lunch? Kevin went and got me a burger today. That was so nice of him, man. I haven't had any red meat in a few days, or 4 or 5 days or something like that. So it's nice to eat some red meat. I've been eating chicken eggs and cabbage. I've been making burritos and stuff like that too. Went into town and checked the mail, did all that stuff. I've been in town in a while, so I don't live in town. I live in the country, and so I'm about 12 miles from a little town that's, no flashing yellow light or anything like that, but little teeny tiny town out here in Christmas Valley. Oh yeah, we went to a yard sale earlier. Kevin got a stove. He got a bad to the bone stove. I have 3 of them, so it's the one I'm cook on every night. So every day, that same stove I had in Hawaii. So it is a good stove, and it's got a little oven on it. It's propane. It's a really nice setup. So hopefully, Kevin's been working like a madman on his place over there. He'll get his all together, and he'll be able to cook on that thing. It's really nice to be able to have that oven. It's got 2 burners and an oven. You can either turn it up or turn it down and make a small little broiler type of oven, and it's pretty cool. It's made in India. They're really nice. They're better than any other U.S. stove I've ever had. I got a pretty neat Coleman stove over here, though, that works off of kerosene, but it's like an antique. It's from Canada. All my Canada brothers and sisters to the north. So, do you see the price of gold in Canada today, guys? Does anybody know the price of gold in Canada today? What's the price of gold in Canada per ounce, per troy ounce? 31.3 grams, not 28.6 like steak or a bag of some potatoes, a pound, 16 ounces, 12 troy ounces. What's the price of gold? Whew, crap. What am I yawning for? Strange clouds. Strange clouds. Are you guys all done talking? I'll shut this stream down, start a new one. You guys don't want to talk? I sit here and talk to the walls. No, I can talk without you. I don't need you to say. Don't worry about it. Don't say anything. You'll just go down as the silent majority in history. They wrote about you. You didn't say anything. That's all they said about you. You were the silent majority. So I just thought I heard a fly. How'd the fly get in here? If I have a fly in here, I'm going to have to go get this fly. I can't do flies. I have the thing for flies. I'm allergic to flies. Well, not literally, but I just don't like flies. Does anybody know what the price of gold is in Canada today? What is the price per troy ounce per 1 gold ounce in Canada today? How much is gold? People are like, I don't know what's gold. What's gold? How much is an ounce of silver? 1 ounce of gold, 1 ounce of silver in Canadian dollars. We got lots of subscribers from Canada, so we really do. I think we got a good base of people. Yeah, check it out. It's pretty amazing. It'll blow your mind. I did earlier, man. I was like, whoa, I showed it to Kevin. He's like, I don't think I'd want to live in Canada right now, man. I think it's bad to live in the U.S. Look at what you got to do in Canada. So I think it was about $3,600 in U.S. dollars today. $3,600 or something like that. 36 and change or something like that. So it's 3,600 in the U.S. dollars. That's pretty silly there, Metro, but nobody in here is gay. We don't go on man dates or dates with men. It's an abomination for a man to lie with another man. It's an abomination for a man to put on woman's clothing. It's an abomination for a woman to lie with another woman. It's an abomination for a woman to put on man's clothing. We don't want Mr. Potato Head to sew on Mrs. Potato Head's lips. It's okay. No button going down there on Mrs. Potato Head. So, okay. Be gay. That's like to be happy, right? Be merry. Merry Christmas, huh? So, all right. Anybody know what the price of gold is in Canada today? Metro is being gay. Or he's trying to be silly. He or she. I don't know. Metro booming. $3,600 for U.S. gold. How much is it in Canadian? How much is an ounce? That's $3,600 in U.S. dollars and some change. So how much is it in gold? How much is gold in Canadian dollars? Canadian dollars, not silver. Nope, not 3K. Nope, over that in the U.S. $4,700, guys. Holy, $4,700, guys. Man, thank you, Max, for checking that out for me. Isn't that crazy? $3,600 in U.S. dollars and $4,700. I know, holy crap, dude. It hit. Look at silver. Silver's $54 an ounce. Look up silver, $54 an ounce. For an ounce of silver, for like a silver buffalo, and the mints up there are more expensive. They got like $4.9 at the. I love Canadian silver or silver and gold, but I don't have any more gold. I'd sell it all, but $11,000 I had to sell all my gold. And what a bummer. Well, I got an attorney, so hopefully we'll get the case dropped and I can leave the country. It won't matter. Does it if I'm sitting in jail? It doesn't matter if I have gold, does it? So, isn't that crazy? Silver's 54 or something I looked up earlier in Canada. $54 an ounce, guys. Wild times we're living in, man. Woo! Silver's going to moonshot here soon, guys. The Fed's about ready to raise interest rates. Or lower interest rates, excuse me. So, you got any silver? Can't eat silver. You hear the price of that? Nothing sounds like silver, baby. I've never pinged gold until I had gold. Oh my gosh, I'd like to have 2 pieces of gold again. That was so awesome sounding. Wonder if it's cooling off yet. Probably not. It's probably hotter than hell out there. We're talking about price of silver. 54 Canadian dollars for 1 ounce of silver. Doesn't it? Sounds like a movie. Remember when they go to a bar, KJ, and they throw their money up on the table? Bartender, give me a shot of whiskey. You hear it. You sit down and you hear that. If it's a good Western, they use silver or gold, So it makes that sound, that silver waterfall. Thank you, bartender. I'll have a shot of your finest whiskey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Woo! Man, sometimes I don't drink much, like I said, but a beer, and I'm all like, but man, sometimes, because I've, one shot or one beer, you think about being a cowboy, because, I work all day on the farm and stuff, like being like a rider, coming in after all day riding 12, 16 hours, going into a bar, you know what I'm saying? Going into a bar, setting that silver down on the bar saying, bar, give me your best beer you got in here. I want a big head on that thing, and pour that off the tap and slide that bad boy over there. So when I drink one beer, that's what I think about when I drink a beer, because I worked hard all day, you know what I'm saying? Because I never drank beer. Elijah's 25 now. He's 22, my son, when the first time he saw me drink. So it was just a few years ago that he ever saw me drink a beer. I didn't drink. It's not my thing. So I drank up until I was 21, and that wasn't any fun anymore. So, but just sometimes like that, was like, that's what kind of makes me just enjoy the taste of a beer now. I just think about working hard all day, and I worked hard all day. I think, man, I'm going to go, I'll normally go in the store or something, I'll buy one, and then I'll save it for later or another day or something, and then work real hard, and then that's all I do. I think about being that, take my cowboy hat, because I work a lot of times in my cowboy hat, take my hat off and crack open that beer and think about that rider that's been riding in that hot sun all day on his horse. He comes into that bar and lays that down, that silver on the table, and says, give me your best shot of whiskey, or give me your, I don't really like alcohol, so, but I can drink a beer normally like that, and I drink one, and it tastes pretty good. One beer is like, ooh, that tastes pretty good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? A Guinness, or I like Mickey's, because I like the malt liquor. But I've tried to drink a second beer, guys, and I don't drink it. I don't drink it. If I do, I end up finding like this much of it, and I go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of neat to think back in the day that, when they went in there and paid with silver and gold, man. Pretty I like it when I watch a Western. I don't watch too much television, but when you watch one of those televisions and they slam that gold or silver down on the bar, and you can hear that certain tone, it just makes that certain ring. So $54 in Canada for an ounce of gold or silver in Canada. $54, guys. $54. $54. Getting up there. Are you a Buffalo farmer? Are you a Buffalo farmer? I just sell all mine, remember? But hey, I got an attorney. I'd be in jail right now if I didn't get that attorney, guys. So, woohoo! I don't have any beer. I'm out to smoke a bowl to that. Well, smoke a bowl to that one. See, that's why I don't drink, guys. Because if I drink, I'll smoke, and then I'll pass out. It's too strong for me. I just don't do it enough. You know what I'm saying? Moderation. And so that hammer me, get all cross-baited. Going to bed. Out like trout. Out like trout. Well, I got up. What time did I get up? Got up at 2. 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. I got up today and got up and got out of bed. I just didn't want to go back to bed after 2 o'clock. So I stayed up after that live stream last night for a while. And I went and lay down and didn't sleep very good. And then, I was up at 2 o'clock. I've been up ever since. So got the chickens up. Got them up early. They were surprised when I went out there a little early today. And they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" They didn't even come out of their little kennels or their little chicken coop. Their roosting box. Not their nesting box, but their roosting box. So. Yeah. Isn't that pretty amazing? $4,600 for Canadian gold right now. $54. $54 for an ounce of gold or silver. Damn, Carl, you were in here not that long ago and it wasn't that high, man. Remember? I mean, like when I had that gold and I had to go sell mine, it wasn't quite up that high. You guys just got shot up a lot compared to the U.S. Up people up in the north. All those Canadian people are paying it out the tooth. So, all right, I think I'm gonna smoke me a bowl real quick. Hold on. It wasn't that long ago. It was like $3,600. $3,600. Pretty warm out today. I think it's up in the upper 80s today. Sun's pretty hot. Went and watered the ladies. They're doing pretty good. I got some more fertilizer going for them, so I think I'm gonna hit them with the fertilizer again tomorrow. I've been flushing them for a few days. I'm gonna hit them every few days or something like that with fertilizer. I don't want to hit them every day, but maybe hit them once every 3 days. And they're looking pretty good right now. I'm happy with the cobras. They're really looking. They're pretty. They're standing up on end. Well, that's really. I've never grown that strain before, so I've heard of it, just never grown it before. I don't know what it's crossed. It looks like it looks sativa, so I'm not sure where where it's from. Yeah, that sound makes me happy. I got a motorcycle for sale if you want to buy a bike. What kind of bike you got? What kind of bike you got? You got an electric motorcycle? Want to trade it for a V6 motorcycle with a V6? Want to trade? Are you a horse trader? I'm a horse trader. I got a Honda Valkyrie for sale with a V6. That thing will faster than a Harley Davidson. You like to go fast? Like to go real fast? You like a lot of bike? A lot of motorcycle? Oh, yeah. I wake up too early? I don't think so. Now we get up at 3, so what's 2? It's an hour earlier. No, I'd sell that Valkyrie right now for $2,000 cash. It's got a mini apes on it, saddlebags, bearing, front bearing, 28,000 I think miles on it. So got a couple extra parts with it. I think it too came with it. I don't know what they. Oh my God, it's a nice bike. It's fast. We like to go fast. It's a fast bike, so it's worth. I got it listed for like $4,200 right now. It's about the market on them, but whatever. It's the end of the summer, so there's still lots of time to ride. No, it's just don't ride it enough, man. What? 3 times I've ridden it since I bought it or whatever, so it just pretty much just doesn't get ridden and just fire it up and just keep it fresh. Probably a battery at this point, because it's sat for a little while, but fresh charged battery will fire right up. She's right. It's a V6. They look at the Valkyrie. They got no bad reviews. They got excellent reviews. They're just a really good all around bike. So they're easy to ride if you know how to ride a bigger bike. I wouldn't recommend riding a bigger bike if you never ridden a bigger bike, but if you've ridden before, you know what I'm saying. $305. Thank you, Carl. 305 and 82, and here we are right now at $4,600. Boy, oh boy, who would ever thought? Imagining, Carl, what a man's salary could buy though in in 1982, what somebody could buy. They started inflating the piss out of our currency, obviously, in 1913. But boy, once we hit 1970, 70, 73, said, oh boy, that time 75, oh man, that was it. So, yeah, I just wanted to sell it to somebody who wants to, a good bike. Like I said, I've got the title and um, just not riding it. I just don't have time. I'm building 3 cabins out right now. I'm actually trying to build another one, get started on another one. So it's on the marketplace. Look up Tracy Werner on the marketplace, TracyWerner in Christmas Valley or Silver Lake. You'll see it. I got pictures of it up there. Like I said, I think I got it listed at $42.99. I've had some nice offers on it too, just not things that I could use. I've had some people offer some. Guy offered like a $7,000 Beamer, a nice, really nice, BMW. It was worth a little more than that, but that was kind of low book on it. He's like, dude, I want that bike. And I'm like, I don't want a Beamer. Some sport utility. I don't know what it was or something like that. I've had a couple offers. Guy, really nice Suburban too. And he just, I don't know what happened to him. It was a nice Suburban too, super nice Suburban. Uh, Super low mile too, all blacked out too, all blacked out, black, murdered out, all black rims, tinted windows, black, super low mile. It was real well taken care of too. Um, Hey, that's a good getter wagon, but I haven't really considered a guy want to train me a boat for it. I don't need a boat. I already got a boat, so I get offers on it. I just, you know, some trade offers because I offer it per trade, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I live out in the country. People got to go a little bit longer to get out here or whatever. I think that sometimes is what happens. Werner. You'll see this building. You should see this building on the outside of my profile picture. It's got like a windmill on the front of this old big building, I've got out here. So, but yeah, it's a good bike. Like I said, it's got leather saddlebags on it. It's got a front fairy. It's got a nice set of apes on it. They're not too big, they're nice and comfortable. Really, I like apes, so set of mini apes. Yeah, just check it out. Oh, it's not going anywhere. Like I said, I get some trade offers on it from time to time, but I haven't really. I just really wanted to ride it more. Just got too busy this year, so that's all. I just basically rode it around here since I got it, in this area. Kept it and take it out for. There's lots of area room. Everything around here is 50, 30, 50, 60 miles. Lots of room to ride. So, it's more than that just to town. Just to get to town, to Bend, it's an hour and a half or something like that. So, yeah, you cover that real quick on a bike, especially a bike that's got a V6 on it. Let me tell you, it'll pass a car. It'll pass a Harley. You can move around a semi. I've driven this, not the first one. Not the first one I've actually owned, but I've driven these before. And you get up on the traffic, man, on the highway, and you don't get blown around on a semi. That's what I like about this bike. It's like riding a big bagger, and it just stays on the ground. It's shaft driven too, so it's snappy. It's just no noise, no chain, no buzz, no it's just comfortable to ride. You could ride this thing to New York. You know what I'm saying? I'd be comfortable to ride this all the way across. This would be a great bike to ride across the U.S. on. I've really thought about keeping it, and getting a sidecar and put my dogs in there and going on the road on that. That'd be a blast, wouldn't it? But I need to bring more than just that, personally, But I thought that's what I bought it for, to put a sidecar on that bike. I wanted to take my dogs. I wanted to buy. I found a nice sidecar. You know what I'm saying? Yep, 923. 923. Yep, there we are. We're here. This is it. The Feast of Trumpets. Remember? Feast of End Gatherings. Feast of Unleavened Bread. Feast of Tabernacles. We're here. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for blowing the horn, for sounding the trump. So, yeah, man, you should have seen it out here. It's so beautiful the other day because we have fire out here in the valley. It was this beautiful. I went out on the live stream. It was beautiful red. Beautiful red, you know what I'm saying? So, waxing and waning, baby. These lunatics thinks it's 2025. I'm not sure why they don't pay attention to the cycle, the calendar, but they go by 2025 nonsense. Lunatics. You're a lunatic. You lunatic. Why do you think it's 2025? Who told you it's 2025? Oh, you do that Gregorian Roman nonsense, do you? So that's all right. God's not in the sky. He's not in the sky. Stop it. Get out of here with your sky daddy, Jesus. Old sky daddy. So, oh man, what a beautiful, yep, on the, right at the equinox. Look, it's right there at that equinox, man. Right there at that equinox. For their pagan rituals, man. They love these demonion distributors of fortunes and lies. They love playing their little casting spells, hocus pocus, Happy New Year in the middle of the winter, April Fools, April Fools. Silly rabbit tricks are for kids. So, hey, why not? They love them. They're pagans, remember? Remember it says in the book of Jeremiah, Learn not the way of the heathens, the pagans. Be not dismayed at the ways of the signs of the firmament. The heathens they're dismayed. Do not learn. Yeah, they're dismayed at the signs, And so remember, you see these signs in the stars, sun, and moon in the firmament, above our heads. So these people think God's in the sky. They got another thing coming, man. Speaking of Judas Priest, you got another thing coming. So, you got another thing coming. Remember, he always used to wear that spike band or whatever. I had a little listen to rock and roll when I was back in the day. So, no. That's just Scotland. Oh boy, that's where Donald Trump was from. The Scottish Rite. Donald McNugget McWarp Speed himself, Mr. Knocked down 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. So you can't, brothers and sisters, that doesn't math, okay? Yes, I'm broadcasting from the basement of the science building. Remember, on the potato. Yeah, we're having our freak show. That's right. Turtle thinks there's 12 months in a calendar year. Are you the same turtle that came out back here and you got all ripped apart there last time you came here? We ripped your shell off you. Ripped the cover off. Apocalypse. This is it. Checking out on the prison bus. Whoa. People don't blend in this ministry. They don't like this place. Boy, they're allergic like, like vomit, you from my mouth. Swine, toxic, toxon, bow and arrow, like Cupid, Nimrod, the mighty hunter. Lupercalia, you silly rabbit. It's a-coming. We're not there yet. We're doing the dog god worship. Then we'll get to the have sex with the kid. Ishtar, the Semiramis, the god that had sex with her son, the goddess of heaven. Remember the Big Dipper spinning around the new... Oh. All glory to Father, though. It's not me, Max. It's Father. Father makes this one, because remember, he makes me do this. He does. He makes me do this. The stars talk to me, and I tell you what they say. The gospel, remember? Revelation 12. There'd be a great sign in the firmament, the virgin clothed with the sun, the moon at her feet. She'd be travailing, agony, and pain and labor of birth. She'd have remember the king entered her into her belly. She'd have a crown of 12 stars. I apologize. I had to get some, man. Like I said, my son, man, remember Max? I grow up back. He grows so fast. I mean, like 3 days. It's like, so let me get out of America. I'll grow it back when I get out of here. I got to get out of America. You know what I'm saying? I needed some change. Father wouldn't have me no change in my life. All my plans, you just keep crushing them like bowling pins and stand them up. He's like, strike, strike. Like, oh my gosh, I got bowling. So I needed some change. He wouldn't let me make no change. Look, I don't even know if my son is dead or alive. I don't have one person to even, if they ever call me to even let me know anything. Man, I got nothing. I got nobody to call. Is he alive? Does he hate me? Anybody? Hey, your son hates you. Hey, your son's alive. Hey, your son. So I apologize. I know probably. I said I wasn't going to shave it ever again, but oh well. Like I said, maybe we'll go back this time and it'll be darker. My beard is so weird, the way it grows in and out. Sometimes I'll shave it back up and it starts doing some weird things. So anyways, appreciate you staying here, for me. This channel is something that Father's blessed me with, so I don't go crazy, man. If I didn't have you guys come in here and talk to you, I really feel like I just kind of lose it out here, I just can't. So I don't sit there and think about everything else on this rock, that's, my daughter's missing too. And I just I've done everything I can do. I've been thrown in jail how many times now trying to help him. So, and if he's gone or if he's dead, I mean, it's not going to do me any good to sit in jail, right? So, and then if he doesn't want to talk to me, if that's the case, which doesn't make any sense, then this is all just a waste. But it is not a waste. Nothing is in vain here. I got to get through this tough time. I got to keep myself from going to jail. Remember, they want to throw me in jail. If you watched, remember, you're going to jail. You want a speedy trial in 6 days, you're going to trial. You haven't even called any witnesses, Well, cool, Max. I said, I mean, I want Father to, I want it to be organic. You know what I'm saying? Just organic, man. I just like things that are organic. That's why I'm trying to get out of America. This place is toxic, man. It is. It's a toxic land. And it's okay. There's good people here, but there's better places for me right now. I've done too much America. I served this country. I have an honorable discharge. Nobody can say, hey, he didn't serve his country. He spent a lot of time. He helped his son out. My son told me to leave already. Take the money I had that I ended up getting stolen from me. And now I took the money to go buy the other ministry and took it to keep myself from going to jail so that I can talk to you guys. I'm not going to do me any good to have a bunch of gold and be sitting in a jail cell. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I know, Max, it's getting so bad. Please, do you have a water filter, man? You're like a Berkey or a. Please filter your water, man. Go get one of these. These are, please don't drink water if it's, even I from a source, I wouldn't even try. I get mine from a 1,200-foot well, and I still filter all my water. Please get one of these, man. Don't chance the water, man. There's, get giardia or fecal bacteria or coliform bacteria. That make you really sick, man. And yeah, you don't want a giardia or something like that too. From fecal or anything. Well, you feel like you're freaking dying, man. They give you the runs and throw up. I mean, you get so dehydrated, you're borderline dying. It's not a good thing. So please filter your water, man. These are, like $12 or $15 or something like that. I think these are about 20. These are 10,000 gallons, and these are 100,000. So if you bought one of these, you'd never buy another water filter in your life. And it's got the little tube and the drinking. These are, so it gives you to pump out, a bag. There's a bag in there. Cool. You still filter your water though in Scotland. I don't care where you're at though. Okay. Seriously, Spiral. I've worked for Culligan International. After I got out of the military and law enforcement, I went to work for the water company. So please filter your water. Get a Berkey water filter system for your home. The drip system that's just gravity, just pour it in top. You don't need a electric or anything like that. It just, and it does the same thing. It's very similar to something like this, but there's our something like this too. If you got to be on your feet, guys, and take this with you, because you need to be ready to go move away from people who are trying to fight with you and steal everything you own and have something somewhere else. Get a vehicle, get mobile, get away from people that want to fight you. And everybody in America, they're ready for a revolution. They want to fight. I don't want to fight with nobody. I'm a pacifist. Although I'm a veteran and I've been trained to kill, I don't want to hurt anybody ever. I don't. So we'll leave it at that. It's just not, and I just don't. There's no reason. There's nothing I need that I have that I want so bad that I have to kill somebody for. So I'd rather just walk away from it now, if that makes sense. That's the kind of guy I am at this point in time. Meek, not weak. So smart, wise as a serpent, and gentle as a dove. So something like this, there's a personal water filter. If you have to go on the run, the Berkey system I have in there is it's a 5 gallon, 3, 4, 5 gallon type of gravity fed tight system. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Stuff could be getting into your water from the lateral at top. It could be coliform bacteria like vegetation on the land that from a farmer, or, some kind of, or fecal bacteria from cattle, or, anything, something could piss, pat in the river, or poop in the river. So that can get in the lateral. And actually, Berkey water is excellent. That's my favorite water. I make my ice cubes out of it, and drink it. I love it. It's my favorite. So, Everybody's taste buds is different. You might not like it, but anybody I've ever turned on to the Berkey water filtration system loves it. It's simple. Put one of these in your top filter, and it'll keep your filters nice and clean for you. Silver's a water. The cleanest thing on this rock is water, and they purify water with silver. So that's pretty incredible, isn't that? Silver's pretty amazing. Water's the purest thing there is, right? Water, pure water. Well, how do you purify water? With silver. So it's been put. They used to been put in milk and different kinds of wines, and it would keep it from growing bacteria. It's an antimicrobial, antibacterial. What are you doing, buddy? Coming over to say hi to the dad. My puppy's coming over to say hi. You're good there, Mr. Puppy Dog. You're fine. We're just hanging out. It's too hot out there today. I don't want to be out there in that heat right now. Yep. We're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for the sun to go down a little bit further there. Or to cool off. Almost should turn that fan on in here for a minute. What's going on from Australia? Oh, I was just chooching on a stovepipe. It's a little Canadian Pug One. Pug1life.com. You guys know Pug One Life? Pug1life.com. Yeah, a little chooching on some Pocololo. Some organics, some flowers. Flower power, man. Not peace, flowers. So it's my favorite flower that grows up out of the dirt. So we got some pretty ones growing out here. Four ladies, 4 beautiful ladies out here. Because you can have 4. Everybody can have 4 per property. Mm-hmm. I have several properties, but I just grow 4. So I haven't had any in years grow, so it's nice to actually do it again. The ladies are doing very good. And we threw some of our chicken poop at them. Yeah, why not? Fertilize them with chicken poop. For now, we'll put something, we'll finish them up with some, probably won't do it at the end. I'll just do molasses, maybe some banana peels and sugar and some honey, something like that. I'm an organic farmer, so I like the organic ways. So honey works good. Boil off banana peels, make a tea. I'm making some chicken poop tea right now. So we're using our chicken poop. Why not? They're doing good. They look great. Super duper. We got a couple leaves just in the inners that are turning a little yellow, but they do that. They just fall off, naturally. So everything's looking good. Thank you, Father, for the ability to grow some medicinal cannabis for my back and my nerves, and obviously my headache that getting hit from the grenade in the face doesn't help my head much. So definitely kind of keeps the edge off the constant pain that just doesn't seem to want to go away. But that's all right. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think I'm going to live like that for the rest of my life, just like my dang back. Unless I go have surgery or something, but I'm not going to have surgery. Never. I used to say I was going to, but now I'm never going to have surgery. So. No, I don't think so, Jeremiah. I think you're just an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Go worship your booby Jesus somewhere else. You talking about Jesus Christ with boobies, nibbles, Jesus Christ with nibbles to another porthole. They just thought they could communicate, eat a dead man, his flesh. Jesus Christ, their sun god, Mithra, and I'm sure they were tweaking on each other's nipples and doing the one-eyed cat ritual and Well, they did. Remember, they thought they could communicate to their dead ancestors like portholes, and you know what I'm saying? They did. A communion, that's what Jesus Christ is, burnt offerings of flesh to their communion. They thought they could communicate, for their dead ancestors for fortunes. So you're kind of over the top there, but it's kind of on track with their booby Jesus. So, don't you know who booby Jesus is? Booby Jesus is the Jesus birthed in the middle of the winter, Jesus Christ, the one in a manger, the boobies, the Jesus has got mange and boobies. The orgy Jesus. So, I'm not sure about the shape or the size, some are different, but they're all boobies. 2, maybe 3. It's a 3-breasted Jesus, like the 3-breasted comet that's coming in. Have you seen the transgender comet? 3-eye Atlas. Dude, this is so stupid, dude. I hate this world so much, dude. You are so lame. We're not on a planet, you idiot. Get the fuck out of here. Please leave now. I'm not spinning on a block or a ball. So please leave. That's the Hebrew word pervert. You're perverted and you need to leave this chat. You're not allowed in here. Please leave. This is a non-Earth chat. We don't live on the Earth. Stop it. You don't live on a ball planet or block or rock spinning corkscrewing from third rock from the sun through time and space. Then why the fuck would you need to go to space? Grow up. Stop doing your Star Trek. Nanu Shazbot. I only smoke cannabis, not crack or rocks or meth. Shut up. You must be on some Methican America. Go back to your Methican cabinet, okay? Seriously. People are lame. Lame, like a duck sitting there in a pond getting ready to be shot. They got no wheels. They had a car that go 1,800, right? 1800s go 1,000 miles out of that stinky muskrat with his dust sweeper. You see those things, flip them off when you drive down the road. You know you do, You can't want to go 500 miles. They're holding back the tech on you, brothers, sisters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're in a spiritual realm. There you go. I mean, you're in flesh. John, you're in flesh, but you're spirit. Remember, you're not flesh. You go back to spirit. You're not flesh. That's a temporary meat suit. That's all it is. I'm a permanent, eternal being that never dies. I die every day to self daily, but I'm temporary. Like death's a doorway, just like time. Okay, it's you walk through one, and you enter another way. It doesn't. It's like dimension. It's like thinking outside the box. Welcome to the fourth dimension. Remember third rock block from the sun. Think outside the box. Welcome to the fourth dimension. The matrix is the woman's vagina, not somewhere out here. We slipped the matrix. We've already outside the matrix here. There's no such thing as the matrix outside. The woman has the matrix. The Vesica Pisces, something smells a little fishy. Apologize, ladies. It's supposed to be like that. But anyways, so we are definitely spiritual. I'm a spiritual being having a temporary meat suit experience, in case you had figured that out. I'm an angel. You know what an angel is? That's a messenger. An angelos is the definition, messenger. So I'm this temporary meat suit. I always come with this word every time before the line. I declare the age. That's what I'm here at birth to do, and then get in front of Mr. Warp Speed to show his phallic worship. He's a fallacy. It's whatever. Father makes me do this. Nobody else does the 923 and shows you what Mr. Warp Speed is doing. Nobody else is showing this 1945 923 with his buddy behind Betty Berry, right? The whole known homosexual. They trade lightsabers in their ice holes. They're island boys. EpiPen, the EpiPen, sticker, island boys. Island boys. They're all like, stupid little dance he does there. Yeah, they're celebrating their island, Lolita, Black Book, Black Web, Dark Web. I walk in the shadow of the Valley of Death, So the guy decorates his house with Satan. How lame can you be? Yep, they got their holiday weird. There are. It's a big bath party. Remember, baby oil. Who do you think paid? He's the oil king. The guy that dropped 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes so Wesley Clark could take us into the 7. Come on, guys. I'm a veteran. That sucks. I was part of this beast system. At least he said, come out of her, my people, right? Do not partake and take in unfruitful works of darkness, remember? Come out of her, Rebuke them with light. So Father constantly rebukes me. So it's better to not worry about, don't worry about what you can change, right? That you can't. It's, your Father created all things. Just walk and take up your cross daily. Deny yourself daily. You're going to die no matter what. We all die. Don't be afraid to die. That's the last thing you should be worried about. I mean, everything you should be excited about death. You get rid of this meat suit. It's a weight. You should be anchored in faith, but, it kind of keeps you drugged down, man. You could fly if you didn't have this flesh. You've all had that dream. You can even fly with it. Yes, you can. I don't dream hardly at all. I don't sleep like that, but We've all had that dream. We can fly and we can do that, but you're not going to do any of that in this flesh. You're restrained by the flesh. The flesh is a burden. It's a meat suit. But you have a certain task what you're here to do, and it's to be girded in his service, and what he did. He was crucified. Yeah. That's right. That's what it says, John. Hallelujah. That's what it says. He said, who shall come after me? Let them deny themselves daily, take up your cross daily. And that's what he's saying. You have to be crucified as I was. Follow after me. Do what I did. And he was crucified for standing up to this perverted law, the beast system that I serve, that we all serve. I still pay taxes whether I want to or not. Now, I don't pay unnecessary taxes, like I don't have a power bill or I got a phone bill, right? So I pay taxes on that, right? I mean, I live in a state there's no state tax. That helps. But I have to pay tax on this land, but I don't pay unnecessary taxes. Father hated taxes. Remember, they crucified him because he stood up against that. Remember, you've turned my father's house into a den of thieves. And then Mr. Warp Speed brought back the old 501c3 fund, put the money back in the churches. Yes, Mr. Moneybags himself, Mr. Warp Speed. DuckTales, woo, Mr. Scrooge. Jumping in golden, little circles. Halo, remember? Little crown virus they did. So it's one thing that's for certain, My dad told me when I was young, son, the only thing you need to have to do is eat, sleep, shit, pay taxes, and die. He told me that when I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, 14. Well, he died when I was 16. But he told me a lot of things over and over and over again. So try not to pay any necessary taxes. The other ones, he's kind of right. We all have that in common. We all die in the end. So, and we're all full of it most of the time, So, just sup the word and try not to fight with anybody right now. But so he said, be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. So gentle wings of an angel means you're not going to be a duck sitting in a pond trying to fight anybody for anything. Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. See, that's Father knew this was coming, right? Shallow, right? This is right. Ephesians. This is Paul's writings, right? And 6 and 11. Okay. But against principalities, our battle is not our brothers and sisters or our flesh. Our brother is this beast system. That's what he stood up against, what was called the halakha. You can call that the corporation or America. The not former constitutional republic was the old law. Now it's the halakha corporation, America, halakha, kaka. Bullshit. It's perverted. It's not under Title 18. Revised statutes have been revised. They weren't adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's right. We're not a golden age. Thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you for sending John. So, yes, that's right. Because remember, Donald said, oh, we're in the golden age. No, we're not. Daniel said we're in the age. Remember, all through the ages, he deciphered the dream. I'm a magi. You know what a magi is? That's who I am. Father birthed me to come here just like these men that were magi that could read these celestial signs. Remember, he said there'd be signs in the stars and there would be signs in the sun and the moon. Remember, they thought the sun was dying and prayed to Saturn, so they didn't even know what they were, looking at back then. But these magi, they were very aware that they have a king star. Remember, there's a king star. There's two kings, okay? Two crowns. Remember, Revelation 3:11, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So you got to be as esteemed as clay, as turn their works upside down. But okay, these magi, that's what he birthed me as, brothers and sisters. That's somebody who can read these celestial signs. I've told you about this sign that happened back at the time of Christ. This is the Star of David, not the Star of Nazareth, not the Christmas star, but the Star of Bethlehem. He was born in Bethlehem. He sprang out of Judah. He was the lion from the tribe of Judah. David said, right? He was what? The lamb. That makes Father a ram. So, Aries. So definitely these celestial markers, brothers and sisters, that were left like at the time of Christ was the birth, the conjunction, like the union, a marriage between a star upon a star, right? They ring out and marry each other, that at the first light. So but anyways, the morning star, which is Venus, not Lucifer. There's no such thing as Lucifer. Doesn't exist. That's not Lucifer is like the east. Well, they're trying to kick me off here. They're trying to kick me off here. It's gonna do the same thing. Why? What's going on here? Oh, okay. Go back to here. Chat filter. All messages. There we go. All right. I think we got her back there. So. All right. What's on your radar? What are you doing about this coming war in Venezuela? Trandel was already in America, so I'm pretty sure they're going to start. We're going to have some more attacks here, probably coming up at these protests. Hopefully not. Hopefully none. But it looks like a Hegelian dialect type of situation we're about ready to face here with these planned protests, kind of like there are no kings rituals. They did. It's all planned. They do this every time. You can find these people advertising on the internet for provocateurs and protesters, and kind of like the old Soros with the BLM and the Antifa. Two cheeks to the same hole, two wings to the same dragon. They're getting paid by the same source. Kind of like Democrat and Red Bloodbakin, same thing. Right? So, apologize for the interruption there. I don't know what's going on, but it kicked me off. All my data shut off and everything. I had to go turn my phone. Oh, hold on 1 second here. Let's see. I'm going to call this one a stream, guys. I'm going to call this a stream. Come back up a little bit. Let the data catch back up here or something more. Another great way to support. Links in the description if you're watching them, but you don't have to. Time is what, if you got more time, come back when you got some more time. All right. What you got, Agape, Pastor Revelation? Welcome to the apocalypse. Welcome to the last book. Whoa.